Welcome, welcome, welcome to On the Block, a Big Brother podcast. I am your host, Dylan Murray, and I'm joined by Scott E. Wrestling. This is the first episode. It's a special episode because Big Brother doesn't start for another 2 months. So we decided to do something a little fun as a, warm up, as a refresher in the off season, talk about Big Brother, give ourselves an excuse to talk about Big Brother. Like I said, I'm joined by my buddy Scott. Scott, how about you introduce yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing great. There's nothing I like more about Big Brother than thinking about old seasons of Big Brother.
Hmm.
Usually the better seasons, but there's nothing I like better about it than doing that. So it's always fun to jump on here and chat. I've done this before, believe it or not, way back in the day. So it's not like this is new for me of talking about Big Brother on the mic. It's easier in season, of course.
Yes.
Um, but I'm excited to do a fantasy draft. That's also not something new to either of us. Of course, we've done that many times. I don't know how many people actually care to watch this because if you don't watch Big Brother, it may not interest you as much. But hopefully, if you are a Big Brother fan, you don't know us at all. Maybe that'll be a fun little aspect of this. But I'm excited to try to win today because that's obviously what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, for those unaware, if you are a Big Brother fan, we do wrestling podcasts, pro wrestling podcasts, where we do a lot of drafts doing that. And if you are a wrestling fan who likes our stuff, and this is Big Brother, it is a reality TV show, and you are going to be very confused today, because we're just going to be talking about a bunch of names. Honestly, like that's that's what this boils down to: a bunch of names, a bunch of competitions, not even competitions, a bunch of twists, a lot of stuff that might not make sense to you. We'll try to walk you through it. We'll try to walk you through, our thought processes behind picking who we pick. Before we get into the actual draft, I wanted to kind of, go into a bit of exposition because we both started watching Big Brother in very different ways at very different times. You are old,
Hey, 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 that's not true.
so not that old, but old enough to where you started watching quite a few seasons before I did. And I thought that you should probably get into that, and I can get into that. Talk about what kind of viewer you are, what seasons you've seen, what seasons you haven't seen,
Mm.
all that good jazz.
Yeah, so I started all the way back at Big Brother 8. That was the first season I ever
Mm.
watched through in real time. And I've never missed a season ever since, for better or worse. I never watched like the online season that existed. I think I watched one or two of the celebrity seasons, but for the most part, I have been committed to this show every year. I think some shows like I'll miss some years I had missed episodes here and there just because they were awful. But
Mm.
overall, I've always saw the finales, I've always seen the winners. You can add an all-star, the first all-stars to that as well. I've gone back and watched that in full. So yeah, I have a long history. I've seen, I guess that makes 20 seasons of this show
Yeah, yeah,
overall, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about this. This is also, by the way, just to make this as unofficial of a starting video as possible, this is also the start of the extended universe, my friend.
yes,
Which of course is something that you, me, and Xavi kind of want to have fun with, just talking things from outside of wrestling. So this is kind of our odd way of starting it with a very niche TV show, reality TV show doing it. But I think it's a perfect start, especially because this is something you and me have obviously been able to bond over, just talking about the show, what's bad about the show, what's good about the show, and all things like that, which I think is what most Big Brother fans are used to by now. You know, it's like you take the good with the bad, you hope for a good
yeah,
season, you expect a bad season. But it's a show that I think we all enjoy watching in full for one reason or another.
yeah. Like I said, much younger than you, much younger than you. That's not true.
Easy.
It's
That's
like 3
not
years. It's
true.
like 3 years, not even I don't know, not that much of an age difference, but I started watching, in Big Brother 16, boo away, because my older sister, big fan of Ariana Grande, and said, "Frankie Grande's on this. You gotta watch it with me." And so I began watching it, and my sister never watched the show again, and I have.
That's
Um,
funny.
yeah, so, uh, 16, and then I watched through 21, um, as it
Oof.
happened. 21 made me very upset.
Mhm.
Uh, and so I stopped watching for a few years. And so I missed some of those seasons. And then I started watching again because I watched like a a video essay about one of the older seasons.
Shout
So,
'em out.
yeah, Eth Animal. I watched the June video essay about her winning season 4, and so I went back and watched season 4, and, since then, I've kind of, like, either watched the full seasons or I'd like to read a lot about seasons because the thing is that, like, with old seasons, there is a certain level of, like, homework that you just can't do, because you can't watch live feeds, you can't really, like, uh it's harder to get notes about them. So I like to, read about older seasons as much as I like to read to watch them because editing can kind of be a bitch sometimes, low key. Um, so like I've read about a lot of seasons, watched a lot of videos about a lot of seasons, and I've watched a handful of seasons as well. But Scott definitely has the advantage over me here in terms of just like broad knowledge of the game and the history and all of the contestants over the years. So this will be an uphill battle for me, but
Oh, I missed a season. I also watched season what's Doctor Will's first season? Is
2,
that 2?
yes,
Yeah, I also have watched that season in full. So,
yes.
just to add to my advantage. And I also meant to say shout out to my mom. She's the one that got me into the show. My mom, my aunt, my grandmother, my cousin, my other aunt, they all, watched it, and I got into it, and I liked the co to follow as a sports fan.
Hmm,
I like the competition plus the strategy plus the social aspect. I think it's a game that still um holds at its core something really great. It's why I think the show has lasted as long as it has, even through the ups and downs, because I think there is a way to have great seasons and make great moments still to this day. I think, it's funny we're doing this now because I think we've had a better run of it recently
yeah.
than had we started around the time you said you quit, obviously. So, I think that helps too. I think that helps kind of my excitement overall for not only this fantasy draft and doing this show, but also the upcoming season.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, because I have gone back, I watched the Cookout season because, as a black man, half black, but as a black man, that really was really cool to find out about. I had no idea that happened. You know what I mean? Like there was like 21 gave me a bad vibe. COVID happened, didn't really hear a ton about 22 because I didn't really care in that moment. But a couple years go by and I find out about like the cookout. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Taylor, like it's been really cool past few years. I've gone back and watched some of it, consumed some of it in different ways. But yeah, it's been a good stretch. I'm excited for 28. Um, but without further ado, we should probably hop into the draft. I believe this is the button. This is the button. Lovely. So for this draft, we will each be drafting 17 guests each to complete a season. That will be 8 guys, 8 girls. I was supposed to take the pre-juror off. Actually, you didn't prep for that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm leaving it on. That's on you.
All right, we'll
Um,
do it. We'll do it. That's fine. That's fine.
eight guys,
Is
8 girls is mandatory.
pre-juror. So people have played twice. So we have to establish that rule. People have played twice. Some people
This
have
is
had
true.
really good seasons and then been a pre-juror. That changes things because I could get a pre-juror that's actually an absolute demon,
Yeah.
like later in the draft. So that's
If they ever
something.
if they ever got to the jury house, it's a no.
Okay, okay. So it's only
Because like you can't
pre-jury
do
ever.
Janelle. You can't just do Janelle. She
I
was a
wasn't gonna.
pre-juror because she
Okay,
sucked that one time.
hold on, timeout. Let's be real. She wasn't gonna make it to the end
Yes,
where
I
we're
know.
doing this pick, so that's a silly thing. But okay, good rule to establish.
Yeah, so never could have made it to a jury house. That's the rule there. Once a house guest is selected, they cannot be selected again. So if I pick Paul, you cannot pick Paul. It's all uh, returning players are drafted based on overall accomplishments and abilities, so it's not an individual season thing. I can't pick Nicole from season 18 and you pick Nicole from season 16. Don't know why you would. But that's not how it works. It's just like kind of a um, you look at their body of work overall, right? And that's what really matters. We're not going to be doing too much of like the metagaming almost where it's like, oh, this player just had a kid, so she wouldn't be good as a player
All
this
right,
season. It's
I'm
like
ready for it.
that's
By the way,
huh?
I'm ready for my pre-juror. Sorry.
Okay, good, good. But not too much metagaming in that way. The idea is that
No.
each house guest is motivated, ready,
Hmm.
and like you know excited to play the game. Uh,
Yeah.
a little shade to Tyler there. Sorry, but eh. um, and then we will each be forced to take two in-game twists that will randomly be selected at the end of the draft. And the player that picks the best field will win. Whoever makes the best Big Brother season, and that kind of
The people
depends on
watching will
who you
pick
are.
on that, obviously,
Yes, yes,
because admittedly, me and Dylan may have very different games in mind that we're trying to build here.
yeah,
And that's the fun of it at the end of the day, because I think there's a lot of I think at its core, you're trying to make a great Big Brother season. Obviously, that is the goal here. What lineup? You look at the lineup, you see the players. Do you think if this was a game, that would be a great season to witness? Um, Maybe you'll go for more the social, loud route. Maybe myself would go for more strategic or something, or maybe you'll just go full competition base. Maybe you want all the big dogs, all the winningest players. Like, these are all different things to consider, and I think that's what makes this so much fun, is because I think a lot of people have different visions of what a perfect Big Brother season is. So, it'll be fun. At the end of the day, it's all subjective, but there's an objective thing. There will be a winner. So don't think there won't be.
yeah. I don't know where we'll put that poll, but we'll put it somewhere. I think you can put it on YouTube. We'll see. We'll workshop where that is.
We're learning.
Yeah, check the description. It'll probably be there. For
Ugh.
the twists, the dastardly twists. I'm not going to read all the descriptions. I'll get there once we have talked about them. But the twists in question are the coup d'état, the diamond power of veto, the blockbuster slash AI arena, America's player, the battle of the block, the saboteur, camp comeback, the battle back competition, clicks and duos for early game, the White Locust call out challenge, the triple eviction, Janky World, and the rewind button. So some of these are like fine, they'd be mildly annoying, and some of them are completely game breaking and would really annoy a lot of
Mm,
people.
mhm,
And for certain seasons of the game just wouldn't really work. Default twists, which don't really matter, but just the reason why they're not here. HOH, power veto, double evictions, have nots, and seven-person jury. Those are all things that were technically added after season two. Well, not HOH, not HOH, but all things that were added after season two, so are technically twists compared to the original American format, but they just automatically are here. Unless Scott, you have any questions for me that I did not uh, remember to already establish with you beforehand, uh, we can probably flip the coin because that's how it's going to decide who goes first.
yeah, man, I'm excited, just to say that. I'm excited to go over this. I'm excited to relive kind of my favorite players along the way. I'm not picking people I don't like, at the end of the day, I'm not picking people,
I have a couple that
that
I
I
might pick that I don't like, but I'm
That's
like, they're
fair, that's fair. There are some on my paper, I just prefer not to pick them, but they could come up,
some of the
but
people I despise had sauce. I can't lie. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, and that's what makes a great Big Brother season, like, you need your villains just as much as you need your heroes, and that's kind of the beauty of the game. So, and when I say villains, I mean, like, actual, like, good villains, not, the worst human
Not
beings
racist
ever.
people.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we're just like that.
Anyways, let's get to the let's get to the coin. Dylan, I'll let you call it, heads or tails.
Tails.
All right, so
Oh
Dylan will be
boy.
picking first. It will be a snake draft, so I will then go twice, and so on and so forth. But that gives Dylan the first pick in the Big Brother All Stars 3 fantasy draft, and you'll get to kick things off. So I'm excited.
I almost didn't want the first pick because, like,
Mm,
in my perspective, it's a coin flip between
yeah,
the two people you want to pick, and I've been kind of struggling with this uh between the probably the
yeah.
top two players ever. Um, just because I think it would be interesting to see him play again. Now that the meta has advanced, I think it'd be more interesting to see him play than the person you will likely pick first. I'm gonna go with Dr. Will from Big Brother 2
Damn
and Big
it.
Brother 7. Um,
That's who I wanted this entire time. Everything now
yeah.
changes for me.
um, BB2 and BB7. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's obviously another name who's very fitting of a first round pick.
Ah,
But it just there's something about Will's presence. Even like I don't know if you even saw like clips of it, but he was and this is something that we talked about off. Um, this is for like when we talk about like overall accomplishments, it's for Big Brother, not for any other reality TV show. So like
yeah. Yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about it was it Amber? Great on the challenge, right?
Right, right,
But
right. There's
you probably don't want her to come in for Big Brother assuming
not a
assuming
bad
she'll be great.
pre-jury pick.
No, no, not at all. But like the assumption isn't, oh, she's the strongest. She'll be so great at comps this time around. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we're focusing more on Big Brother. But I saw
Oh
some
boy.
clips of Doctor Will on Deal or No Deal Island, and I was
Yeah,
just
he's
like,
good on
this
that.
guy's still a psychopath. Like this guy
Yeah,
still has it. He's still sharp. He still knows, and I
yeah.
think he would be so good on a modern season of Big Brother. Um, in a way that I don't think
Ah,
anybody else would be. I think it's such a interesting, an interesting thing. So yeah, go with
for
him.
for what it's worth, I would have picked him no matter what. So, I he's my favorite player of all time. So, as someone who's watched and I didn't watch either his season live. I was a long time denier of his greatness, and I was like, you know what? I'll go watch his seasons. And like his greatness is so unique. I don't know if he'd actually be good at current Big Brother, or if but he might because I watched Rachel not win anything and be fine. Like
He'd be
I think
interesting. Like it would be an
he'd be so
interesting
interesting.
player.
I
That's the
and I
important thing.
think in a game, an all-star style game, again, all these years later, he would still thrive because he was such a great, you know, there's a conversation to be had that he could have won twice. He just got too confident, in that all-star season. That's what ultimately cost him. But with
He
you
also like
picking
wasn't the most motivated. Like you like we're talking about
no,
peak motivation for all of these players.
yeah,
We are giving all these players $1 million just to play. That is how
mhm,
much we're screwing Paramount and CBS. That's what we doing. So
they got the money. They're fine.
just to get in, they could take it out of the Colbert Fund. Just to get in the house, right?
Yeah,
Just to
yeah,
get
yeah.
in the house, they are more motivated than ever. So
Mhm.
like that would be a fucking monster, man.
Yeah, it's to me, it's the right pick. I think there's a great debate of who is actually the greatest player of all time. I think it's him, and I think, of course, it's my pick. My pick will not shock anyone. My first pick will be Dan Giesling, um, who I'd argue should be the first and only ever two-time winner. I'm really upset that he's not. Like, I still am upset to this day that he's not, because while Ian Terry played a phenomenal game, you don't do the Dan's funeral and not win. Like he should have won. Dan for the longest time was like my 101 goat. Like I will not be debated about it. And I still think he is comfortably in that conversation in terms of legitimate strategic gameplay. He could win comps. He could do the stuff behind the scenes. You saw it in two very different ways in both his first season and, of course, his second season coming in
Mm.
as a kind of like a teacher and then obviously joining the game and just doing something that was so one of one that people still talk about to this day, which again is another sign of greatness.
I think his
Um,
season 14 game is one of my is probably my favorite.
game.
I don't know if it's my favorite game, but it's one of them where it's just like
Yeah.
I just go back and just like kind of like
Yep.
watch like clips of just him just maneuver. I was like, how the fuck did he
Yeah.
do this, man? Like I think season 10 was a better game because he didn't he
Yeah.
was much obviously he won it, but he was much better at mending fences when he
Mhm.
needed to.
Yeah.
Um and in 14 he just wasn't. He also
Yeah.
got himself up against two different people. Like I it's so much easier to vote for Dan against Memphis than against Ian
Oh,
because
yeah.
Ian's just kind of like like he's a likable
Ian had a
guy
great
who
game.
Did a good
And
yeah, played a good game. Like it's just like, a lot of things kind of like fell there, but it's such a fun game to watch of Dance in
I
14.
mean, Ian was a perfect snake type
Mm,
that I think, fails to this day. I don't think people play that as well.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Dan and Dr. Will 1 and 2, I don't think that shocks anyone. Um, I don't think that shocks anyone. You know what you can do just to show, like, in the order next to
Mm.
the names, just put, like, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
first overall, okay.
yeah, yeah, I think that's important, just so people know, like, how this goes? Um And, like I said, I've watched both of these seasons. I think that they both play very differently, but, the dream would obviously be having both of them in a season. That would never happen in a draft. But anyways, that leads me to my second pick. And not ending up with Dr. Will vastly changes where I go. It does because I think now I start to think of, okay, I want to get Dan at his peak. And
Right.
what would bring out the best version of Dan? And I didn't think I was gonna go here because I think that he gets a great claim of breaking the game.
Mm,
But I'm gonna pick Derek.
okay.
I'm picking Derek because I look at Dan, I look at Derek, I think to myself, that's the matchup you want to see. Like if Dan's in the house ever again, which he will never be, but if he was ever again in this scenario, it's like who's the greatest strategic player you want to see him face off against? Derek played the perfect season, bar to bar, end note, played everyone, went on the block one time, didn't have to win an HOH. He did all these perfect things, right? Even in
Yeah.
the end, he won because he was that much better than everyone. He got Cody to bring him just to cost himself money. Derek broke Big Brother for a
Yeah.
good few seasons. He broke it. That's how great he was. And to me, that versus Dan Giesling writes the season for me.
Mm.
So that's where it's changed. If I had Dr. Will, I wasn't going Derek. I have four other different options. But now that I have Dan and Derek, I can't pass it up. I feel very good about that. I'm still very good because you're gonna have two picks here. I still very confident of where I go next.
Yeah, I'm already kind of like, taking a lay of the land here. Um, Derek's a good pick, especially compliment Dan, because I think the thing about an all-star season, right, is you you need if you're gonna pick like these heavy hitters, you're gonna pick Derek. You need other people who could kind of beat the hell out of him, like
Yeah,
just like in like mentally. Like I don't know who wins a game between Dan and Derek. It obviously depends on who else ends up getting drafted.
of
I don't know
course.
who wins that game, but
You'd like to
like
see it.
yeah, like it's something very interesting. Um,
And I will say
I
this. I
mm,
just will say this.
mm,
Thinking about like obviously the rest of the way here. Um I think how you're gonna go about it is gonna be very fun to me. The way I've thought about this going into this, admittedly, I'll announce strategy,
okay.
is that I look at how the first All-Star season went.
Mhm.
You had to have someone that could perfectly face off with Dr. Will. That ended up being, despite her losing, was Janelle because she was the complete opposite of how he played,
That's
right?
true.
For me, I don't want the complete opposite of Dan. I want someone that can match Dan in the mind field. So I think that'll be fun to see how you go here. And I'm excited to see how you go here because I honestly have no idea.
Um, it's kind of a mirror matchup. I'm not gonna lie, because and this is I don't know if she would be considered uh overrated, but our
That's the
first
way to sell your
non-winner.
second pick.
No, because our first
I know where
non-winner,
you're going here.
I'm gonna go with Vanessa from
Yep.
Big
She
Bro
was my
17.
101
Because
for
like
women.
yeah, like I don't know, like it's like it feels so obvious. And again, it's kind of a mirror matchup where it's like
Yeah.
you pick someone who you think would kind of like
Mm.
be like a ultimate
You picked the
foe.
women's Derek, to be fair. She
Well, I
she
didn't pick
did it.
her yet. Um,
Well,
but yeah,
no, but
her too.
like
I
she
get you.
did the same thing so masterfully a year after. And to in a different way though. You know, like
Mm,
the way she did it was like you noticed it from day one. You know, I think Derek was a little bit better at just being a little more sneakier, and that's what cost her, you know, ultimately
yeah.
in the end. I
Steve
love the
ended up
Vanessa
reading her.
pick
Yeah.
for what it's worth. I love the Vanessa pick. I wanted her bad, um, because she would have been perfect for my setups here, but I knew she wasn't coming back.
Yeah. I am going to go. The thing is, the beautiful thing about drafts is that it's like you kind of have to like read your opponent, and like there's someone I want to take, but I'm also like I don't think you would take her that quickly, so I think I can wait. But then you're gonna take her, I'm gonna be upset. Um, but I think with that, I think you got to go with somebody who has like just like a indomitable social game, is incredibly likable, beloved even, um, because I think that can create a different element of the game. You know, like I think Vanessa and Will, for example, can really like dictate how people do things. But
Mm,
I think if you are just like someone who is just charismatic and compelling in
yeah,
a bit less of a strategic sense, you can even
yeah.
kind of like slip one behind them. So I'm gonna pick Taylor Hale.
Oh,
I think
wow,
I
alright.
think I think you
I
need
only say that because the way you were explaining it, I had 7 people in mind.
yeah. So like I think you just need someone who honestly, and this is a crazy thing to say. Big part of why, and I forgot to put this because this matters a lot to me. Big reason why is her reindeer games performance.
Make sure you
I
put
think
5 too,
huh?
for, like, 5th pick.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'd be forgetting. Big reason why is her reindeer games performance.
That's
Because
crazy.
she was able to be an aggressive player in reindeer games because she didn't, immediately get like bullied to death. Um, she was able to be an aggressive player, but still, like you could see that it's just like it comes from just a likability, like just generally. Um, that just like it kind of just like persists. It's like it's hard, it was hard for her to be in the back seat of a season,
Mm,
starting off with a strong, rapport with anybody
mhm,
because she's just a likable person. If she doesn't get immediately off to a bad start, she does insane work in Big Brother 24, and she won it. So obviously that,
yeah,
but I think what she lacks strategically, 'cause she did have some hiccups back in BB 24. What she lacks strategically, I think that there is just something so uh, undeniable about her likability overall. So,
mm. I
yeah.
think it's a great pick. I think it's a great pick. I think she'd be, interesting in there with Doctor Will,
Mhm.
and Vanessa for sure. Alright, well, that leads back to me, of course, and you kinda have left the door open for me to continue a trend here. Again, I like uh, the game b inside the game, you know? I
Mhm.
think that is always a better choice, when it comes
Oh, I
to
think I know who you're taking. Go on.
tr I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do. I'm going to the women's side here,
Mhm.
and this is probably the person that, you know, in my research and in my knowledge, people actually probably find to be the best non-winner ever,
Mm.
which is Danielle Reyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah. That
probably
that
the she
that's
probably she's probably just an edge ahead of Vanessa when it
why does it?
comes to whoa, hello. Why
Yeah.
is it doing all that? I like how you gave her last name.
Yeah.
Um,
Why does it look like that? Whatever.
which to be fair, I think that's fair. I think most people know her by Danielle Reyes.
Yeah. It just sounds
Um,
better.
yeah, it does. But that one for me, putting her in there with Dan and Derek, it's just too good. If Vanessa didn't make it back, Danielle Reyes was always the other option for me. Um, you know, for me, it was like, oh, well, I'd just like to see Vanessa play again. I've seen Danielle Reyes
Yeah.
play a few times. She was fantastic even on reindeer
That's
games.
what I mean. Like I think
She is a
yeah.
gamer.
Yeah.
Um, she was also fantastic or annoying on the show The Traitors. She
Mm.
went so far lying and cheating and stealing. She was a actual traitor. Um, she never had a chance to win because she just got so deep into it. But she was like fake crying and all this stuff. I'm like, man, she's
She's the reason
evil. And
I almost picked up the Traders was because I saw
I
Daniel Reyes was there.
she was yeah, she's one of one, and I feel very good about getting her on my team. Now this is interesting where I go from here. I have a few people in mind. Uh I have like some favorites in mind that are just like people may see it. It's like really, um, but like I like smart players who may or may not get a good rap. Um, I also kind of play from the heart a little when it comes to picks, so that's also a little bit painful. I know you don't like her, but I have to go with her with how my thing's going. I
Mm,
am actually going to go with Rachel Riley. I am
yeah,
going against the grain here in terms of who I actually want to pick because I think Rachel Riley
damn, I spelled it crazy
is
wrong.
just
Wait,
you're having a
how do
tough
you?
time over there. Rachel, EL.
Yeah, dude, I forgot how to spell Seattle this
You
morning,
can
and I was
just
like,
do
"That's just
Rachel.
yeah."
Everyone
I'm
knows
just gonna
Rachel.
do that.
Um, but her ability obviously was showcased even in the most recent season of Big Brother, where she, only lost, I think, because of the the twist that they did to
Yeah,
themselves. I don't think there was anyone going to evict her, truthfully. I think the only reason she lost was because of that. I think she was on her way to being in the conversation, at least, to be a two-time winner. But Derek, Daniel Reyes, and Rachel, I can't complain here. I can't.
it's a good lineup. It's a good lineup. Rachel is someone that I had on my board. Because yeah, I'm not the biggest Rachel fan. As someone who started
You've
watching
only seen
after.
her. Yeah, I was gonna say you've only seen her most recently, right?
Well, I watched the grade season, so I watched her first season. Didn't watch the season she won.
Oh, that's a
Um,
no one liked her really that season.
yeah,
So
so that definitely changes how how I feel. But no, it's like I don't dislike her as like a player or as a person. But she just I, I wasn't a fan of her run
yeah,
last
yeah,
season. Um, I thought she did well, but I was kind of like, okay, she's toying with like 14 of these people are really bad at this game, and it's just kind
yeah.
of not fair.
You would
Um,
say it to be
13,
fair.
13. Because I Captain Will, you didn't do much, but I love you, buddy. That's my guy.
She
Uh,
for what it's worth, Rachel did admit it every time. She's like, "Are these people dumb?"
yeah.
Uh,
So like that was very frustrating. Was I was like, can
yeah,
somebody else just like stop being silly for a little bit?
yeah.
Um,
He
but
agrees.
I think Rachel has a strength that like a lot of other players don't. In that she
Yeah,
proved in 27 that she can still like she could have won that game
yeah.
undoubtedly, and
Uh-huh.
that's 14 seasons
She,
after.
sh
Like that's
yeah.
insane.
She proved old school can still win,
Yeah, so like I was like that gives her
which
so
helps
much
this
credit for me.
draft match massively, by the way.
Yeah. Um Plays into my next pick actually. Actually,
Ooh.
yeah, it does play into my next pick. I'm gonna go three
We have
one in a
back to
row.
back.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
back to back, so I know what I'm doing here. Um I'm actually gonna pick my two favorite players of all time, like personally, that like just I adore. Um One of which is a popular opinion, and if you don't like her, then you suck, and one which is not a popular opinion. Um
Ooh.
but my sixth pick is going to be June from season four.
Nice.
I adore her. I like I said, I just thought oh I didn't even like because when again a little backstory when I saw like the thumbnail for like her video essay about her winning season four, I was like, I didn't know an Asian person ever won Big Brother. Like I was like shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
good for y'all, man. Like that's awesome. And so I watched it. I was like, holy fuck! Like she was so cool. Like she was so good at this. And then I watched the season. I was like, yeah, she's a beast. Like she's
Season
awesome.
4 had 2 of the most hated players ever in the final 2.
Yeah, and it was
Being
awesome.
yeah.
And apparently, and this is I don't know this for certain, but apparently the only reason why June didn't go back and I am blanking on her name now. And but her final two,
Allison,
she why
Allie.
Allison, yes, thank you. Why Allison did was because June had beef with Julie Chen, which is very funny. But also, I'm sure there are other reasons because sometimes you just don't want to play again. But
That's
she
true.
said many times she's open to playing again. That doesn't really play into my thinking, but she was just really cool. I think you need the
For what it's
OG.
worth, you have 2 people that played 1 time, so, I mean,
Correct.
that's a pretty constant.
And I think that is kind of like a cool thing because it's like you want to see someone who you've only seen once. Like you want to see like
Oh, yeah.
what can they do a second time. But yeah, I think June played a really cool game. I think she could play a pretty similar game in an All Star season because
Mm,
people will underestimate her. Like people
yeah.
won't be thinking she has as much of a finger on the pulse of the house as she does. Because she did the
Yeah, what would it be 20
entire time.
years, right?
Yeah.
Also,
I
can
mean,
you please write BB4? You have
yes.
thank you.
This is what happens when we record
This is not
after.
a anime.
Yeah, S4. My bad. Um, but I think she had a finger on the pulse literally the entire game of Big Brother 4, and I think that is like that would make her go real far. I think in any season, because people will underestimate her unless she's like the only returnee uh, in which you can't underestimate her. Like I think
Right, right, right.
she could make a run just because nobody would really expect
Mm.
it. Um,
Yeah, I was kinda hoping to sneak her in, not
yeah,
gonna
no,
lie.
you can't do that.
So, I
Um,
didn't know how much in your bag you were for Big Brother 4, so,
yeah,
I mean,
that was
I
like
think
the
it's fair on
first
my behalf.
that was the first old season I watched
She
was
wouldn't
Big
have
Brother.
made
I
it much
really liked it.
farther, so it's not like I was
Yeah.
gonna let her hang.
Um, Next up, it's a personal one. If you heard when I started watching and when I stopped watching, you might be able to kind of like see my childhood tastes, and I still think they are awesome. I'm picking Paul from Big Brother 18 and 19. Paul is just he's my guy, man. I love Paul. He's like um I
People
don't
hate
know.
Paul famously.
Yes. Yes, that is why I'm like, you know.
Also a conversation of the greatest non-winner considering he could have done it
Yes.
twice.
Yeah, just I think BB19 sucked, but I think that the final two ruled. I think that the way that they both got there, uh despite all of the questionable ethically
Mm,
methodology that they took.
yeah.
I think they were both such smart players. Like this isn't just I don't know if I'm gonna pick Josh. That's something that 16 round 14, 15, 16 me is gonna have to think about. Maybe 17. But that's for later. But I
Yeah.
think that they both played such a strong game that
Mhm.
ultimately because everybody in that season kind of stunk, nobody will ever like
Yeah.
respect it. But like Josh played a pretty like very smart leech strategy with Paul, and I think Paul just steamrolled everybody. He was a psychopath, and I love the psychos. Like it's my favorite thing. um
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. For
Also
what it's worth,
18's a lot of
I
fun.
was very tempted to add him to Dan and Derek. I really was.
Wait, why did I put seven?
Um,
What am I
so
doing?
I no, what are you talking about? 7th pick. You're right.
7, 8, 9.
Oh, what are you doing? Yeah,
My
but,
math's
like,
all up.
he was very much in consideration because I knew you'd want him, but I couldn't pass up on Danielle and Rachel.
I would if for your information, I would have taken Danielle next. So that was
Yeah, no, I was
very
never gonna
smart.
pass up on her. It was either Rachel or Paul.
Yeah.
And I decided Rachel's more valuable to what I'm crafting here. Now it's time to kinda go a little bit more personal picks here, which is it's gonna be very similar to Paul because a lot of people don't like him. I'm going to go with Evil Dick Donato as my next pick.
Evel.
Uh, classic classic winner of Big Brother 8. Big thanks.
He
He
got
was
kicked out like day 2. I'm not counting him for the
no, yeah,
season.
he didn't get kicked out. He had to leave.
Or yeah,
Um,
I don't remember.
so so obviously the 10th pick had that. Evil Dick is the first season I ever watched. I loved him. He was so mean, so awful. And he won. he won thanks to America's Player. But he won. And with that, my second pick here, because chaos ensues, and I know they don't talk, I will be picking his daughter, Danielle Donato. Because, one, I'm an asshole. And two, I think Danielle Donato, this is just, I loved Danielle Donato. I thought she was awesome. I think that she's very underestimated in her first season because obviously she teamed up with her father, but I think she played a good game. She won a lot of comps. That second season that she was in, um, she went too hard at the Rachels of the world and the Jeffs of the world, and that's what cost her because she tried to get everyone around her. You know, she tried to get the newbies to team up, and she went all about it wrong. And BB22, she was the only thorn in Cody's side that entire season. Big Brother 22, which is the second All Star season,
Yeah.
stinks. But when Danny was there, it had a little hope. Not
See,
a
well,
lot.
that's the thing. What we're doing here, really,
Oh,
ultimately,
yeah.
what we're drafting here is how to not fuck up a third All Star season because the second one was a fuck up.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That's why Cody will not be on my team. I'm not letting Derek have
shocker.
that. I'm not letting Derek have that. I think he needs to go in there and play uniquely. But that being said, you went with favorites. I couldn't let. I knew you were never gonna pick him. Maybe her.
Yeah, I
But
don't,
I
I
knew
don't,
you.
I don't like Evil Dick generally.
No one likes. No one does. But like him, Derek, and Dan to me
They're gonna fist fight, man.
is yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. They all had a great mind for Big Brother,
Mm,
and I'm here for great minds, and I think I have 3 great minds on the men's side. I know I have 3 great minds on the women's side, and I'm just here for that. I think this is a season that I this again, I'm kind of just somehow picking my many favorites from through the years.
mm,
Like, everyone on the board so far is like, "Hell yeah," for me, your side included. So I think that's like obviously kind of falling. But this is when I was going to go a little bit off my board to make some reaches for my personal taste
yeah,
because Big Brother 8 was my first. And I've rewatched that season multiple times. I enjoy it every time. What does that say about me? I don't know. But Danny Donato was always getting picked. I just want that to be on record. Evil Dick could have, like, maybe not. But then I just remembered, like, again with Dan and Derek. Evil Dick was more preferred actually for Dr. Will if that had worked out.
yeah.
Um
That'd
famously
be
Evil
scary
Dick
again.
Evil Dick has famously said he'd never go back unless Dr. Will was on anyways. Now he'll never go back. He's just, old now, but back in the day he's like I only really want to if Dr. Will was on there, which I think is fair. I think a lot of
Yeah, I
people
don't
probably
blame him
feel that
there.
way. So, yeah,
Um,
I'm very happy with my picks. Now for me, it's like we're just gonna go off the wall. My theming here is now over. I don't have uh
you couldn't
the
tell
theme
my
anymore.
theming. I don't have much of a theme. I'm looking at a theme. I could see
I'm
things.
trying to
I'm
I'm
trying to
getting
round
a
it out
good
well.
there is something comedic to me about Dr. Will interacting with all of these people.
Yes, I
You I
agree.
know you said there'd be a fist fight because of Evil Dick and Derek and Dan. I mean, there's not a world Dr. Will likes Paul.
Oh no. Like, and if they, but okay, no, the two possibilities are that Dr. Will and Paul hate, like, it does it like immediate clash, or they just like have this like strange kinship that is terrifying to everybody
Yeah,
else that's ever lived.
that's
Um,
true.
yeah, I am actually gonna be reactive in this pick,
Okay.
because you know you picked Evil Dick, you picked Danny. I don't want to subject my boy to another season with those two. So I'm picking Eric. Eric Stein from Big Brother 8. I
He
don't
was
I
gonna get
yeah,
subjected to it for
I
once.
don't I don't want him to have to deal with that no more. I feel for him. He does not need that energy in his life no more.
Those
He's
3 players being all in one season, obviously Eric's season was heavily affected.
yeah.
But all 3 of those players being in one season, I'm really lucky that was the first season I ever watched because obviously it was like the one after All Stars, so it's not seen as a high note because All Stars was so amazing.
It was also the season where the original producer left, I think. Like
Yeah,
they left after 7, so
but it is one of the great It's one of the great watches because you just see so many like, "Holy shit, I can't believe that happened," which I think is the purpose of Big Brother.
Yeah,
You want to see that a lot,
it's the
and I
aura
don't
moments.
yeah, I don't think we get it enough. I was telling you before we even did this to go back and watch season 8 because you need to see how much America's Player affected that. It
Yeah,
is incredible.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I read I read Behind the Mirror, the Big Brother book that came out last year, that Taryn wrote, and they and he was talking about how Eric was like he was scouted for Big Brother like 4 or 5, I think it was 4, and that was the X's twist, and they were like, "Oh, you don't fit for this because we're doing something else, whatever, but we'll keep you in mind," or something along those lines. I don't remember what it was, what season, but he got scouted, and they were like, "Oh, maybe," and then but the thing was is that they kept his like name, because they knew he would be too good at the game. And
Yeah,
so they decided, you know what, this is the perfect guy who like clearly will be very good at this game because he's, a
yeah.
likable person, charismatic, but also like a genius and just a good
Mhm.
player. Like he just, had all the makings of a great player. So they forced him to be America's player. And it's like, oh,
This
this
is
this
true.
sucks. That's I don't want to do that, but you
He
can't
was
not.
very good at it, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I
Like,
think, giving
you
him a
couldn't put it on anyone else and make it work.
exactly. And
Why they never have.
yeah. Oh man, imagine literally anybody of the past like 10 years being forced to be
No.
full-time America's player.
Trying to think in
Um
my head, could have anyone pulled it off? The answer is probably not. They've tried, like, theming of it, and
I
it's never
like I and this is, obviously where I started. I liked uh Team America kind of where like they had to do things that really didn't matter.
mhm.
Like and they just
That's
had to
true.
do small things. But then I think that also fucked up other people's games because Derek was in Team America and it got him pull with
Yeah.
Frankie? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But I like the idea of the twist,
Yes,
but
that's
Eric
correct.
got screwed. Um, and I think it would be really interesting to see him play again in a game that he can actually play potentially because we never know what twists we get.
I
Maybe
know,
he will.
I
Maybe
know.
if just so everybody knows, if I get America's Player again, it will be Eric again. He has to. That's his burden to bear. Um,
So, now your next pick.
Next pick. You know, I think it's pretty clear that we don't super value like the comp beasts out there. Um, Not super clear, but it's
Just
it's
not
it's
early, just not
yeah,
early.
it's early. Um, and so it's like I'm kind of
Danielle and Rachel are actually my most comp beasts.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they are both great competitors even to this day. But
Paul was yours,
yeah,
and Taylor was really good,
I always forget how
and
good of a comp like a competitions player
Taylor.
Taylor was. Yeah.
Well, Taylor had to
Um,
win a lot.
exactly. Yeah, she was kind of put on the back foot. Um, for that reason, I actually I don't think I am gonna go with a comp beast. I completely lied. Um,
Okay.
because I just I am going to go with Tiffany from Big Brother 23 of the
Fuck.
Cookout.
Fuck. Shit. Ah! I
Um,
wanted that one. I wanted that one.
Truthfully, I love all of the Cookout, even the annoying one. Um, but and I had like four of them, four of the six on my list. Um, I'm not gonna say who wasn't, but I feel like
I can figure it out.
Tiffany still being here, I felt like okay, you come on, like
Yeah,
she's
she was the actual smarter pick over, Danny, for example, but the heart must win sometimes.
another
Uh,
great player who's never won, who's never even sniffed, a top three,
yeah.
because she only played once.
She's
But
also been in the Traders and the Challenge, fun fact.
I actually didn't know about the challenge. I knew she was on the Traders.
Yeah, the
I
challenge
didn't know
was
about the
harder
challenge.
for her because of the comps, but she did
Yeah,
they just hate Big Brother players on the challenge, so that never helps, which is
but
fair.
but yeah, I mean, mastermind of the Cookout. I think, a lot of people talk about the cookout, and it's like
Mm,
if Tiffany was more willing to betray the cookout, she probably would
yeah,
have won. She was more
yeah,
willing
yeah.
to be a bit, less loyal to the cause. She
Mhm,
probably would have won. She would have at least gone a lot further.
yeah.
I tend to agree, and so I'm happy that she didn't because I respect her choice there, and I think it was as much as I wish she won over Xavier. I like Xavier a lot, but I obviously I
Xavier was really good too.
yeah, I think it was those two that were by far the best of the players in terms of how well rounded they
Would be
were,
shocked if
especially.
Xavier's name was said by the end of this.
Exactly. So this is no shade to Xavier, obviously, but like I think
No.
Tiffany, without feeling the need to like, back up anybody, like not
Yeah,
without feeling the like, oh, I have to do this,
yeah,
is a
mhm,
she'll take people out. Like it'll be
yeah,
dangerous for everybody.
yeah, yeah. I think it's a great pick. Tiffany's a great pick. She kinda also embodies that game player behind the scenes mastermind, that I
Mm.
think, we have plenty of so far in this draft. So I am going to go to the other side here. It's time. She has been on the she has been on the list for too long. She has been my number one for too long under the women. She is regarded as one of the most favorite players of all
Oh
time, one
fuck.
of the greatest competition beasts of all time. What do you think I'm picking?
Well, now you said competition beast. I know who it's somebody else. Go on. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
worried.
you're good.
I don't. Yeah, you're fine.
You're good. You're
Go
good.
on.
You're good. You're good. I'm going to pick Janelle. I think Janelle has to be picked eventually here. Otherwise, what are we doing? I know she's been on a million times, but listen, we are
See,
trying to play the best.
that's the problem. Is that like
Mhm.
the way that we kind of laid this out?
I know.
Very bad for Janelle because like the
Yeah,
idea of based on overall,
I know.
she played BB 6,
7,
BB 7, BB 14,
14, and then the
and
All-Star
BB
one?
22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of these very bad
Oh,
performances.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Well,
that
her
that hurts.
problem is she's Janelle.
Yeah,
That's
had one of the
literally like
strongest performances against the strongest cast of all time.
yeah.
So,
Like, her
understandably.
problem is she's Janelle. That's literally how she loses in 14 and 22. Like, if you watch both of them, it's like, "Well, we have to get Janelle out, guys." It's like,
Yeah.
that's what is said.
Which is so
But for
funny for
yeah.
22 because
Oh, yeah.
like 14, yeah, it makes sense. It's 7 years is a long time, but she's still Janelle. Everybody in 22 was a beast. Like it
Uh-huh.
wasn't like Janelle was like this
Yeah.
indomitable force compared to
Yeah.
fucking Cody like at comps. Like
Yeah.
come on, dude. Like that's not
So
necessary.
so we've gotten to a point where I think there are a lot of men options that I can be comfortable with.
Hmm.
So I'm picking Chelsea.
I was yeah, no, that's yeah, you should.
I'm picking Chelsea because I look at my women's field here. I have Danielle Reyes, I have Rachel, I have Danny Donato, I have Janelle, and I have Chelsea. That is a war brewing, in my opinion. I think Chelsea is one of the better, obviously more recent players. That's why she won. She handled and here's the thing about Chelsea that I think is forgotten. She could have easily eventually, or especially early on, gone home, right? Once
Mhm. Once said,
Oh, why is when Cedric left, like that
yeah.
back against the wall type stuff. But she won a lot. She crafted behind the scenes. She was so frustrating to watch because I was like, you guys, how do you not see this? It's like,
Yeah.
and there's like 10 people on this list you could say that about. Um, but I look at the women's side. I look at who would pair well against the other 4 women I've brought to the table, and I wanted a more recent one. I
Mhm.
haven't had a recent one. Everyone else is pretty legend-esque, uh, first half of Big Brother history. Chelsea is my first most recent one. Again, like I said, I think the women's side is, dwindling a bit more because a lot of the more you've shown it with your draft, a lot of the best women's players outside of the, Janelle's, the Daniel Reyeses, and the Junes have come more recently, which is great.
Yeah.
We've seen a real trend in women's winners, and I think a lot of the women's winners have been the much deserved winners.
Well, you
So
know
I'm
what?
very happy.
Something that I kind of noticed last night while I was putting my board together was that it's like I favor I think overall, women are better at the game than men are. It's
That makes
just
sense. Well, it
it's
makes
just
sense for the
historically, it's like
yeah.
there is a certain like societal like, oh well, women
Mhm.
lose. I am
Yeah.
not going to vote for you because you are a woman. Like that was just a thing for like the first 15, 16 seasons. Not
I think
more than that. Like
if
like
you
you know
look
what I
at
mean?
the past 10 seasons, I think Vanessa barely fits because I guess 27 just
She is
happened, but
yeah, exactly. But yeah.
we'll count it. But Vanessa, Taylor, Chelsea, Tiffany, like they're all picked here because I think you could argue they're the best players of that past with like Paul added in. Like
Mhm.
that's it. That's it. I mean, look at the board. Look at what we have here. That is what
Yeah.
that says.
Yeah, because they are all insane players. Yeah, I also I have to get
I would
some
I
more
would love to see
high-end
Chelsea
dudes on the
play
court.
with a Daniel Reyes and
Yeah.
a Danny Donato because I think they all played similar. Danny just did it the most, what's the word? Dangerously.
Mm,
Um, but I think Chelsea did it the safest, and that's how she won. She
yeah.
she she watched, she learned, she did it to a T, of like how to control a game, take out the heavy hitters, and do so in a way that you are able to win, which is again so hard in this game. There's very rare that winners are actually the best player.
If anything, I think we picked Chelsea a bit low. I wanted to go for her sooner, but I also
I was shocked
had
you didn't
different
pick her.
reasons to go for it. Like
Like
truthfully,
legitimately shocked.
yeah, when it was time for me to pick Taylor, they were both next to each other. And I was like, they're both
I thought you were picking
great.
her that high. I
Yeah,
thought Chelsea. So when she got to this point, I was like, oh, I have to pick her now. Like I can't let you
yeah.
have Vanessa Taylor, June, Tiffany, and Chelsea. Not happening.
All of the yeah, but the thing about Chelsea is that it's like I think she gets a lot of flack for truthfully being like her season compared to her was kind of
Yeah.
perfect and like the antithesis because she was such a calming force. She just
Mhm.
silenced everybody. You know what I mean? Because it's like there was
Absolutely.
Angela, there was Tucker. I love Quinn, but that motherfucker was whining every week. Like there were like it was just so much like energy, and Chelsea
Mhm.
just like put them all in fucking rear naked chokes and took them all out. And it was very, you know,
She had
we're gonna
one
calm
of the
this
best
down
social
real
games
quick.
ever, man.
Yeah,
One of
she
the
just
best social
completely
games ever.
pacified the entire house. You know what I mean? And it's not like the house was weak. Like I think that's something, you look at certain players where it's like I said with Paul and Josh, right? They were playing
Yeah.
against in basketball terms, they were playing against fucking plumbers. They were playing against people
Yeah.
who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Bad players, like pretty jarringly bad players.
The
And every time there was a player who was like, maybe we should make this good move, there was somebody who was like, you are not
uh-huh.
allowed to do that. So it's like they were like,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
No, not
Like,
that I have to pad the stats,
mm,
but she was another person that got someone to bring her to the final
yeah,
despite not winning the final comp.
that shit was crazy.
Uh, she won 4 HOHs, 6 total competitions, started with a disadvantage. I think that's heavenly forgotten. Like,
Yeah,
her and was it Cedric as
her and
well
said,
that they
yeah,
started
her
with?
and
Yeah,
Cedric.
they started with disadvantage. I remember being like, "Oh, they're screwed." One of them was. Not for that reason,
My
actually,
buddy.
but yeah, I think for me, I was always picking Chelsea, but we're an hour and we're halfway through, so I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. Um, Now I think I'm going to go for a comp beast because I would like to take a comp beast. I'm going with Frankie Grande from Big Brother 16.
Damn it! That's
He's
who
what
I
brought
was
me to the
gonna
game.
pick
He's what
originally.
brought me to the game, man. Um, and I think when I first watched it, I was a big Derek guy. Like when I was a kid, I really liked Derek. I liked his game, but I think over time I've grown to appreciate Frankie so much more because it's just like in this game full of just like kind of full of just kind of people who he was fighting an uphill battle is my point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like the entire
yeah.
time, very clearly. And he just won everything. And then at Reindeer's games, he was a beast. And like you can see that he still had like kind of the game in his brain in that. I think okay, yeah, like yeah, this guy's got it. Um, Next up, I'm going with a bit more of a personality pick. Um, I really just don't want you to take her. Um, I'm gonna go with Brittany from Big Brother 12 for Keenan
God.
Reindeer Games. I adore Brittany. I mean, like she's everybody's favorite house guest basically, but she's one of my favorite house guests of all time. Um, RG. Yeah, just she's just so beast, and I think she's also an underrated player. Like I somehow, even though everybody adores her, I think she was consistently a very smart player. She was consistently making the right moves, and then she just kind of got screwed at various times. Um, Outside of Reindeer Games, I think Reindeer Games was probably her most equitable loss, funnily enough, in the competition series, right? Um, but yeah, I think Big Brother 12. She was just like she kind of like moved well, did played a good game, and then at some point, right at the end, she's like, "Wait a second, you guys," and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, sorry, you
Ugh.
got to go now." And she like, and it's like that's tough, going against the
Yeah.
first alliance of that kind and being the
Uh,
last one. That's tough. So
yeah,
I think she
that
deserves
hurt.
another real run at the game. I think she could do well. So yeah,
That
shouts out.
that angers me greatly because I went with skill instead of favorites on that round, and
See,
it
that's the thing.
cost me greatly with Brittany.
When you were saying Janelle, I
Brittany,
thought you were gonna take Brittany. So I was like, I
well,
need to take Brittany.
yeah, Brittany was the last one that I was like, okay, I'll get her, and I'll be good. But I didn't know how high you'd pick her just because of her
It is
lack of
what it is.
success necessarily. But
Sorry, Brittany, spelled it wrong.
yeah, we
I
both
spelled it
really were
wrong
nailing that.
again. It's an E. Really? That's an interesting
It's
way to.
it's an E.
Yeah,
Are you
Brittany
sure?
Ney. That's
No way. Brit No. Oh yeah, shit. I thought I had it wrong. I think I changed it on you. I mean, I think we've had it wrong 4 times. Anyways, all right. So I'm back on the board here after taking some licks. Um, all right. I'm gonna stick to my guns here and go more favoritism here. And this will be really funny because of the rules, but my fourth man's pick will be Tyler Crispin.
ooh,
Um, because I do think people look at BB22 and put a bad image on Tyler when in BB20 he was again the mastermind game player who also won comps. Um, I
incredibly
think
well
it's
rounded. Yeah.
very good. Again, Dan, Derek, Evil Dick, and Tyler moves me. And then I'm actually going to follow up with a back to back here,
Oh
and
wow.
I'm going to pick Casey as well from BB20. Casey's just a favorite of mine, always has been. As a challenge fan, she's very good on that show. I've always loved Casey. She was someone who I loved watching on that season. I loved watching her just win everything to win the show. Like, that's literally what happened. I've never seen that before where someone can't win for half a season and then they just things click finally. She storms through. I think she was a very good social player. No one disliked Casey. That's why she won. Like, not only did she have the comp wins at the end, but everyone loved her while Tyler had to openly break people along the way. Um, so yeah, now I'm getting into my more recent bag here because obviously a lot of legends have gone. But I just like again, I'm trying to have comps, I'm trying to have good smart players. I like how both of my sides have turned out now. And I'm really happy with where I am. I can't really complain the rest of the way here. So what am I at? 6 women? Six, five, six? I can't count.
One,
Six.
two, three, four, five,
All
six.
right. So we have okay, 4 men left, 2 women. Gotcha. But I will let you ride.
Um, I'm going to go with a great player bad season pick. It's the great player bad season pick. I'm taking Andy from Big Brother 15. Um,
Didn't even make it on my board because I hate that season with a burning passion.
See, yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
fair
just like
game.
the
It's fair
best
game.
player, like one of the
Yeah.
best players ever. Like I still think probably because yeah, Big Brother 15 sucked. I never watched it in full, but I saw uh, a handful of
That and
USA's.
BB21 have a great debate on being the worst thing ever made.
See, I'm gonna say this now because I'm not picking her just given how things are rolling out. I was thinking about picking Holly from Big Brother 21
Mm,
because I think that she was very good at the game early on, and then she just decided, you know what, I'm Mickey's girlfriend, and that was the entire like last portion of her game, and it was really
yeah,
depressing because I thought she was actually
yeah,
like a really good player. Um,
mhm,
so I'm not going to pick her, on
yeah,
this, but I do want to give an honorable mention to her because I do think that she was very underrated player. I think if
yeah.
Mickey didn't just win all the fucking win all the competitions, like
She
Holly
didn't just win.
was a
Yeah,
better mental player, better strategic player, was cleaning up all the messes for those terrible people. Um, so she was very good at that, and I think she would be good. But this isn't about her; it's about Andy. Andy, I think, is just like pound for pound one of the best players like just ever because of
yeah,
how uh unsuspecting he was, but he was also just straight up evil. Like he would just do like he would he would screw you to your face and then somehow convince you you weren't in danger. And it was so fascinating. I think, like I said, Big Brother 15 sucked. But
it sure did.
one of my favorite clips from Big Brother, like ever, is when Andy won the HOH, and all of the other 7 or 8 house guests were like, "I'm safe. This is great.
Yeah,
Andy's my guy," and he's like, "I'm gonna get one of you out. Like you shouldn't all
yeah.
feel this safe, but I guess I did a good job." So yeah, Andy's a beast. And I think it would be nice to see him play a game against people who don't suck, at least generally, like overall. Um,
Fair take.
uh, Next up, I'm going to go for kind of like a question mark because you don't know what he can do without his partner in crime. But I'm gonna go with Jason Guy from Big Brother 3.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Um, Generally an underrated player because obviously he was not as strong as Danielle, but he held his own.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think people kind of give him credit for that. And also, he just didn't want to come back for All Stars, and that was,
Mhm.
I think Daniel Reyes was great in All Stars as well. So like, like
Yeah,
if you watched All Stars, you were like, damn, she's really good. How was she on her first season? Then you find out, oh, she was by far like the best player that
yeah,
had played up until that point, and then one of the best just ever, right? So I think
yeah.
Jason kind of gets lost because he was always the Genetti as we call them.
Mm.
Um, but damn good Genetti at that. He was a
Yeah,
real
it's a
smart
good
player,
genetic.
real nice guy, real likable person, which I always think is kind of a thing you want. Uh, on top of being like a crazy good schemer, I think that's a really fun type of schemer because there are so many like you look like Evil Dick. There's so many who are just like mean people who are
Yeah,
just like mean. I mean even
right.
Paul. Paul, I adore Paul, but he
Paul
was
was a
mean.
mean
He
person
was a mean
that
person.
second season.
Yeah, especially. He was a mean person and he allowed like that to be like how he like got ahead.
Yeah,
Jason was just he was a sweetheart, but he was
yeah.
smart. Like he got out Marcel, like
Mhm.
obviously the most famous fucking veto meeting of all time. Got out fucking Marcellus. He's like, dude, I'm sorry. You
Right.
fucked up, man. But like he was just, nice the whole time. And there's something really almost likable about that. Like an honest schemer
Mhm.
in Big Brother is not something you always get. And I think you got to have that in a season
Yeah.
like this. So yeah. I don't know how he do with competitions because it was Big Brother 3. They were barely in competitions, but
Mhm.
I think he's good enough to warrant a shout here.
Yeah, I look at your season, Frankie's winning every comp, by the way. Um,
Don't worry.
literally every
I've
single
got
one,
I've
except
got
for
I've
Paul.
got
Paul might win some.
yeah I've got a couple aces up my sleeve. Just got to hope that Frankie doesn't team up with any other comp piece because
Yeah.
then it's cooked. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pick Xavier here.
Real?
I'm gonna pick Xavier. I feel very good about that. Again, fits the player that I've went with the men's side, especially. I think you pair him with the likes of Derek and Dan and Evil Dick and Tyler, and it makes it for a very interesting conversation. Xavier played a masterful game. I do think
Yeah.
it can be forgotten within that, but the, I feel like I don't know. To me, I always thought he was winning that season.
Mm.
If the cookout could last, I just didn't see anyone taking him down, even despite how great Tiffany's game was. I just think he was so smooth in the way
Yeah.
he played. And I think, putting him into this game and seeing how he would enter, I like that a lot. And listen, I don't like my next pick. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with that, but I would feel really stupid leaving her on the board.
Oh my God, you're
It's
actually doing it.
I am. I'm gonna pick Nicole Franzel.
See,
Um,
I thought you were gonna leave her off because we talked about this the other day.
yeah.
There's no way that she should be on a season with Derek. Like that's the worst decision you've ever made, truthfully.
Well, listen. I have kind of quietly made a lot of pairings here. I don't know if you've been paying
Oh, this is
attention.
perfect. You're gonna get the duo twist.
Yeah, I've made a lot of pairings here.
Yeah. I
If you
I, I kind of
see,
peeped it with Tyler and Casey.
which
That's why I
which
was like,
has
oh,
been purpose. And to me, I rather pair with Nicole than Cody for Derek because I think that's at least a little bit more uh
interesting.
unique.
Certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Nicole's a weird one for me because she's actually a fantastic player because you don't win once, win reindeer games, almost win another time on accident. You just don't.
I don't know if
Like,
I ever told you this. My mom's favorite player, Nicole Franzel.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, Nicole Franzel's the only person to win something twice in this
Yeah.
game. She's arguably could have won 3 times in this game. I think some people would argue she might have supposed to win the All-Stars, but she, screwed
Yeah.
herself
I,
with
I
maybe
think I think
overly
she
confident.
I think she should have,
But,
but she didn't.
you know, to me, I look at the women options the rest of the way here. I look at who I have. And I don't see this being an easy time for Nicole, but I think that's what I would prefer to see her in a game that challenges her. And honestly, she would probably still somehow do the best. One, because yes, like you said, Derek is there. Um, but at the same time, Dan Giesling's not going to let that just slide. That's again part of the mindset here. You say it's one of the worst things, but like, okay, Derek and Nicole work together, but Dan's here. Just period. He's
Yeah.
here. Like Daniel Reyes is here. Rachel is here. Like this isn't going to be easy for anyone, and that's kind of what I like. Um,
It's crazy how they fumbled Big Brother 22.
yeah,
Like, cause I'm
it
thinking
is.
about it, it's like, yeah, they had
They
who
had
were
the
they
they
fighting
ha-
against? They're fighting against Christmas and David.
right,
I'm not
like
fighting against her Christmas,
Big
but you know
Brother
what I mean.
22 had Cody, Danny Donato, Nicole, Tyler. It's just like either Janelle, someone just didn't want to play
Yeah.
Tyler, which really hurt that season too. I think that's kind of overlooked. Um,
I think he
or
would kick
like,
ass if he wanted to play.
right, or as we all know, like it was kind of predetermined in some other ways. Not predetermined, but like
Pre-gamed to
pre-planned.
death.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
this is the alliance. Like in this game, best case scenario, we're not like yes, Derek and Nicole will work together, but also, there's every other element here that I just like. Again, chaos ensues. I don't think Nicole's gonna like Evil Dick much. Like I don't
Oh
think that's gonna
man,
be.
no.
But like that's the thing though. Like
See,
that's my
okay,
game here.
this is the thing about your whole draft is that like having evil dick, it's always like how will this
Curveball.
person this is very very off topic and very funny comparison. But somebody said today that like for 15 years in wrestling, the question was how would you deal with Andre the Giant? Any
Mm,
wrestler in the world, how would you
yeah,
deal with Andre the Giant?
yeah.
Evil Dick is the Andre the Giant
He
in
is.
this instance where it's like, okay, Derek, you're a good player. You're one of the smartest players to ever play. How would you deal
Uh-huh.
with evil Dick Donato? Like, and you just
Yeah.
it's like, well, fucking good question. That's the thing, right? So that does make everything about
The
your
answer,
list a
I'd
bit more
prefer not
interesting.
to.
Exactly. Yeah. Um,
And that's the beauty of it. So that's why we're here.
but yeah,
Frankie
I
would
think
have been my perfect mix to that too, but you got him.
see,
So
I was looking at Nicole soon because I feel like Nicole and Frankie would be a more interesting, like maybe not even duo because you saw like again, I'm I'm a if you couldn't tell by my picks, uh, I'm a big Reindeer Games fan. I actually really loved that show,
yeah, it's
and
kind of
thought that
crazy.
I thought it was
True.
cool to see how they like interacted with each other,
Yeah.
uh, in a another circumstance with a lot of heavy hitters, and so you could see a BB16 reunion, but you could also see them just be like, wait, fuck you, I don't know, stop. Um, Next up, I am going with the most recent. Well, actually, no, no, actually, okay, most recent person to be in the house um, of the draft so far. I'm going with Morgan from Big Brother 27. She was my favorite of the most recent season, and I need a conch beast. We talked about that. Frankie's probably going to kill some people in these
I
competitions. So
completely forgot about Morgan. I'm mad at myself because I like her a lot. Big
yeah,
Brother 27 has not been in my brain this
no, me
entire.
neither. So that's something that like
I
we should
like her
probably
though. She's a
address
good pick.
briefly. Neither of us particularly big on Big Brother 27.
No, I
I
liked
was
Morgan.
lower on
That's
it.
about it.
Yeah, I like Morgan a lot, and I also I didn't like Vinny. So I think for me personally as a fan, it's like, oh, I get to watch Morgan play a game without Vinny. That'll be cool. Um, and she's close friends with like Paul, so she'll have a buddy in the house, and they'll probably take people out kind of aggressively. That's what you gotta be
That's a
scared about
good
in my
pick.
game.
That's a good
But
pick. I have
yeah, I'm
7
happy with
women
Morgan.
already. She was probably not gonna be the last one picked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should probably count, huh?
Yeah.
One, two, three, four, five, six. Did I miss? I definitely. Oh no, it's six. Six and six. Cool.
1.
Um.
Yeah, you're very even. I have
Yep.
to pick 3 men and 1 woman the rest of the way.
Um. Next up, I am going to pick. Ooh, how many women do you have left?
1.
Okay, then I can leave her. I'm gonna pick somebody that we talk about quite frequently. Very underrated player, all things considered. I am picking the brains of the brigade. I'm picking Matt from Big Brother 12. Um,
He was on the board.
I
He was on the board. Good pick.
12. Yeah,
I
like
wonder
I
if
think
many people remember him.
that's the thing. Like that's this podcast is for people who uh probably spend a little bit too much time thinking about Big Brother, like us. Um, because yeah, like Matt is someone who was clearly like one of the two strongest players in the house. Um, and because of that, he got taken out by the strongest player in the house ultimately, which I was probably Hayden. At least I think Hayden was the most well-rounded player. So that was an instance of, in my opinion, best player winning. Um, but I think Matt, if he didn't get kind of sussed out that early, if he was able to make it even like another round, I think he probably would have pretty strongly won the game because
Mm,
he was the smartest player, the most strategic,
yeah,
and he was doing really well until he just wasn't right.
yeah.
He got dodged too late. So would be interested to see him play again. And I like having another kind of underrated mastermind sort of thing. I
Mhm.
think that's kind of the beauty of a lot of my draft is that like I don't know if anybody's going to suspect anybody else too much. Um,
Yeah.
in the sense that it's like I think everybody kind of is like a
Yeah.
sleeper.
You know what I was thinking about looking at
Mm,
ours, mine and yours? I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing how many single seasons you have. Um, because like, were
yeah.
they just not good enough to come back, or was it a good thing because they didn't come back? Because like, I also have some single season. I think to myself, like, there's a reason they didn't have to come back. They played like a great game. They didn't need to come back.
This is
I think
true.
that's just always a fun part of it. Obviously, Morgan's a little different. She just played, but
Yeah,
I'd
same with like
even
Chelsea.
say,
But yeah,
yeah, I was gonna say Chelsea's very similar to that too. But I think that's always a fun thing. Like, should have this person come back? Like Vanessa obviously should have been back. She just didn't want to. She kind of disappeared from everything after the show,
yeah,
from my memory. Anyways, I am up.
you are. Your picks,
I
man.
think we have just left a fantastic winner on the board too long. Um,
Oh
and
no,
what?
nothing.
And
Embrace it
I
right
think,
back.
I think he'll be fine. And I think he, with my first pick,
Mm.
just needs to be in there. I'm picking Ian.
Yeah,
He just should not be here. Like Ian was a great winner. I just think like we talked about it a lot earlier. It's like, he Dan got, Dan probably should have won, but like Ian absolutely should have won too. Like that's the problem. Like that's why he
yeah.
did win. Um
I don't
and
think
to
Ian was an
beat
undeserving winner. I just don't think he was the most deserving winner. I think
Yeah, Ian
that's
beat
the case.
Dan Giesling.
Yes.
He's the only person in Big Brother history to beat Dan Giesling. Literally. One
Yeah.
person has ever beat him. Um, like he didn't get eliminated before that. I think you could argue that he shouldn't, but that's neither here nor there. And I think adding Ian to my game this late is important. I think that his Big B22, he just wasn't part of the class.
Mm.
Right? Like there was just the bonds, and he wasn't part of it. And I
Yeah.
think that hurt him. But I think if he's in there with Dan, like I could see them, despite it going the way it did, I could see them being a real nice pair here,
Oh,
like they
they
were in
would
that
be
season.
they'd be
They'd
killer
pro
together, I think.
Yeah, like, you have Derek and Nicole, you have Ian and Dan, you have the Donatos, which is dangerous,
Yeah.
Tyler and Casey, like I said, I got pairings here. I got pairings here just thinking, like, how could this work? And then you have, like, the Rachels of the world, um, who are just gonna find their own pairing as she often does. I think she'd have a fine time finding pairing too. All right. So I have 2 men left, 1 woman left. You know, sometimes you just need a dickhead in the house. Do I wanna go there, though? I have a few on my list that actually fit that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say.
I have a few on my list that definitely fit that
I have 2.
conversation.
I have 2 who are like, "Oh, these
I
people
don't
are."
know if I want to pick him, though. So I may be taking that back already. Um, I'm just, like, staring at him like, "Do I want that?" You know what? I'm actually gonna pick my last woman instead, and I'll leave my last 2 pick for the men. And
Mm,
that's because I just really like her.
mm,
I think she brings an entertainment factor. I think she got screwed in all of her seasons, quite frankly. I am going to pick Devon for my
oh, okay.
last women's pick. I always liked Devon, and she has been another successful entity in the challenge. And I actually think that being the case, her entering the house after her challenge career would be very interesting to me because I do think having succeeded on another show that's a lot more physically taxing would actually do a lot of good for her. um Joining this season, I've always liked her. She's the one that I went with. There's other options that I think are more obvious, but I've kind of went with like all the heavy hitters in my mind in terms of like that I wanted on here for the
Mm.
women's side of things. So I want someone that's kind of like the Britney, in a way, like that just brings entertainment value. And I think Devon had always done that. She was always a fan favorite. I think she won America's favorite or came
She
close.
did one of them
But she
or 2 of them,
yeah,
yeah.
I think she won one at least, and I like to have that. I think that's how I kinda like to finish out a season. I don't want it to just be and I think she can find a pairing here that she can
Mm.
actually probably go under the radar and succeed, though her she will, I think she'd do really good on this season actually because I think, you see all these big names, you see all these big players, and it's always someone like a Devon that I think could succeed. And like I said, I have a lot of fan favorites too, so that's always fun.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going in the opposite direction, with someone
I got
who
evil dick. That was enough meanness, honestly. He
someone
makes
who
up for it.
is so maybe not hated, but so hated that it's why she's never been back. Another single season of Andy. I am taking the cult leader of the friendship. I'm taking Maggie from BB6
Mm,
because she scares me,
that's fair.
and I think that's
That's fair.
cool. Um,
I tried to pick, just admittedly, I had her on my list, but I didn't see her. Never saw
mm,
her. I just didn't ever feel confident enough in picking someone I haven't seen. That's my bad, you know? That's on me, admittedly.
okay, I have one of each left.
Yes,
Um,
you do. It's a
Getting
good
down to
pick,
the wire.
obviously. And then you have our pre-jury pick.
Yes, one of each, and then a pre-jury. Which kind of stinks because there are a couple people who I'm just not going to pick, who were like
Yeah.
who just made it into the jury, especially from the most recent couple seasons. One of which is well, actually, I'll say it at the end. Because I might just pick him now. Should I just pick him now?
That'd be really funny.
I'm not going to do that though. I am going to go again. Not a smart idea because people hate the season, but I'm picking Josh,
Dude.
man. I'm
Ugh,
picking Josh. Oh, I fucking
ugh.
love Josh.
He's actually factually not on mine because he's actually like best friends with Casey, fun fact. Um,
Yeah, they were supposed to
um,
both play in 22, and I'm
22. That would have
still angry
also
about that.
made that season 10
Still
times
angry
better.
about that. That
Yeah.
they both like tested positive for COVID like a day before, and so they
Yeah.
got subbed out with I forget who, but just not as not as interesting of players as Casey and
I like
Josh would have been.
Christmas was the last second one though.
Probably. No disrespect to Christmas. Christmas, if you couldn't tell, by far my least favorite of that trio. Considering I haven't even brought her up. Yeah, I think Josh and Paul are just such a duo that I would love to, like I said, a duo I'd love to see
Mhm.
in any other season
Yeah.
against literally anybody else.
Yeah.
Like I liked Vic and Paul. Like I think Paul's a really cool like he can find somebody and kind of like run with them, and
Yeah.
that's always really like an
Victor
interesting
was
thing.
the most unique person on the board for me because I was like, he
Yeah,
wasn't good. Like, he got
yeah,
eliminated 17 times. Like he wasn't good at this.
but also that's kind of cool. Like the
Yeah, it
I
is.
won't die thing in like a
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like a Jag thing where it's like, oh,
Yeah,
he just got saved randomly. It's like he
yeah,
was
Jag
fighting
won't be
for that
picked by
shit.
me because I'm still mad about that. Like he was gone.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
good player. Jag was a good player,
Oh,
but
for sure.
no. Um,
Um, do I
that's
have
a
one?
good
Oh no,
pick.
that's you. That's you. Yeah.
That's me. My
Love
last two
Josh.
picks, both men's picks, by the way,
Yes.
which I think is
How did I do 20?
important. I got it.
Thank you.
Um,
One of these.
so I think I just got to do some curveballs here at the end. I look at my season. I look at how I've crafted it. You can't have a season, and all the strongest players, I think, for the most part, are gone on the men's side. There's like winners there that you could pick from. Like, for example, like a Hayden Moss. He was a pretty good player,
Yeah.
but like, meh. I already told you I'm not picking Cody, so don't have to worry about that. You're all men's out, right?
Am I? I think I just
Yeah, I
have one
think you
more
have one
woman.
more
Yeah.
woman. Yeah. So like this is just kind of where I'm at. And he's one of the more famous players of all time to not really be that good, but oh man, cinema thinking about him in there with some of these people. I'm picking Mr. Spectacular, Jesse
Oh yeah.
Daughters
I
on the
fucking love him.
list.
I'm
Listen,
giving it this
listen,
last
we're
name.
pro wrestling guys. He's gotta be picked. Um,
He was
he's
on
gotta
my
be
board.
picked. I have to. I have to. He's just like famously known for being Jesse Goddard's. Like, like one of the most famous, not really that good at the game people ever. Um,
Also, in the same vein, the most okay wrestler of all time.
yeah, it's true. It's true. He was born for reality TV. I'll give him that.
Yes.
And then my last pick, maybe an unpopular pick, but I wanted to keep the wild card feeling going. I think he would be a good first one out, probably. I'm going to pick Tucker.
He was gonna be my pre-juror. You got a
Yeah,
pre-juror.
yeah. I'm gonna pick him. I thought about it. I thought about just wait, and you have first pick and pre-juror too. So,
Yes.
he that
Wait.
did come to my mind here. In terms of I thought maybe you'd pick him or Cedric. Not to spoil anything, but I think with Tucker, he is just again wild card. I want a wild card that's going to be a competition beast that can
Yeah.
throw wrenches and plans of a Dan, of a Derek, of a Danielle, and the list goes on and on and on. I like that as my last pick. He's like the ideal all-stars pick, I think, from the past 5 seasons. Like when people think about, oh, who would be a good all-stars player? It's like obviously him.
Oh,
It's
don't
like
you worry. I'm picking Angela next. I'm kidding. I'm not.
people used to say that about Zach Rance, for example. And
Yeah.
I think there's like a big comparison between those two, except Tucker was actually good at something
Yeah.
in the game.
Very, very.
Um,
Yeah.
and his curveball ability mixed with what I have going on here. And I also just really laugh at him and Jesse being in the house together. I don't know why.
Them flexing in the mirror,
Yeah,
like you know what I mean, doing the.
yeah, like, you could just
That's
see
fire. Yeah.
them doing that while you have the master game players doing their thing. I'm very happy, like, my last 3 picks in many ways are personality picks, but I needed it, and I think, again, like I said, I don't think Jesse or Tucker would go far, I do think Devon would go far, um, but I had to get Jesse on this, he's one of the most famous Big Brother players of all time for a reason.
That's true. That is true.
That's why he still comes back.
Yeah.
Well, he was on
I
it this year,
I'm struggling with a last woman's pick
and
actually.
and for what it's worth, he still gets reactions. Like, when
True.
he pops up, like, I
I'm
still,
always
like
happy to see him.
yeah, it's like, I had to. I had to.
Um,
There's some good women on the board still, it's just a matter
there are.
of, like, I had a few on the board that I'll say them because it doesn't matter. Like, Keisha was famously a great player once upon a time.
Yes.
In her first season, she was someone I had. Nokomis was also on my board. I don't know if you know much about
I
Nokomis. If
vaguely. She wasn't on my
she
board, but
she she kind of created the back door, so
yeah,
that's a pretty
season
cool
5
thing.
is my biggest blind spot because I can name like 2
You need a
people, like,
guy?
I
Oh, you know who you got to pick
but
for a
no,
guy.
I need a girl.
Oh, you do. No,
Yeah.
Howie. What a shame.
Oh my god, Howie was on my board, and then I put Jesse Goddard's
No,
twice on accident. 'Cause I was
no.
like, "Who was supposed to be there?" Because I just
You're
have Jesse
missing.
twice.
You're missing your Jesse Goddard's.
Yeah,
Howie was your Jesse Goddard.
yeah,
Oh man.
on the woman's side, this is hard. I
Well, for what
apart
it's worth, are you gonna pick a woman as your 17th?
No.
Then yeah, you gotta pick one.
Yeah, obviously. Um,
I was gonna give you that play. I would play
well, I
fair.
could, but well, actually, I
But
could just do that.
if you have someone in mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2 pre-jurors, actually, for my last 2 picks.
Oh shit.
Um,
I don't like that how this rule worked against me now.
yeah, thank you for reminding me. Because I
Well,
think
then this can just be your women's pick, so it's fine. Unless
yes,
it
this is just a
so
woman's
it's
pick in the same
fine.
way that Tucker was
Yeah.
your
So
16th.
yeah, so it's fine.
Um,
Yeah, it's fine.
and this is somebody that, like, when I first started getting back into the game, I was like, "Oh, she clearly knows what she's talking about," and just kind of, got screwed by a certain twist. Um, I'm going with Izzy from Big Brother 25. I thought that her
Who the
and
hell is that?
Siri fucking
Oh,
her
I
and
remember, I
yeah,
remember, I remember, I remember.
she kind of got screwed in like week 4 after I think it was
Yeah.
after came back because he didn't like it was like it was after all that bullshit happened, and I was like, you're good, you're good at the game, but you just got cooked, home girl. And in the Amazing Race, she the whole time was like, I fucking hate this guy. When
Oh, I
Jack
know what
was,
man you're picking next. Never mind, sorry. Continue.
but yeah, one of the shining shining stars. I don't want to say that the cooler members of Big Brother 25 that I thought was pretty dope. She did get eliminated pre-jury, which was a shame. Um, and last but not least, my other pre-juror, uh, it's my boy. It's Cedric. I love Cedric.
Mm,
Cedric's my guy. He was my pick when Big Brother 26 started, and I still wish that Tucker didn't listen or listened to him when he was like, yeah, no, this is not going to work, so we're just not going to do it. And Tucker's like, yeah, well, don't worry, trust. And then Cedric's like, I said it wasn't going to work. And he's like, no, you didn't, you asshole. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? He did right there. Like, I was so bummed, and Cedric was like a
it's
goner.
it's fascinating how many final all your last what 7
Oh
picks
my
were all
god, yeah, this is crazy.
that's crazy. I don't know how you accomplished that.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, yeah, that's true.
um,
I just want to see. I think it's like an experiment thing, thinking in my brain, where it's like I want to see. Like I know what Brittany looks like as a player, and I adore her, and I want her to come back. But like
yeah,
I don't know what fucking you know Maggie looks like again. But I want to see. Like I
yeah.
want to find out. Like I'm. It's a morbid curiosity, for me. I think. So yeah.
You know, it's a shame we're doing pre-jury because boy, oh boy, should Marcellus get a shout right now. Um,
Yeah,
one of
I
one.
love Marcel's.
Okay. Well, I will close us out here.
Well, I mean,
Um,
you could pick Marcel. Your pre-jury is Tucker.
oh well, no, I'm still going pre-jury here.
Okay,
Oh, wait a minute. I can pick a non-pre-jury now?
technically,
Are
because
you're letting me count Tucker?
yeah, Tucker was pre-jury.
Oh shit, that changes everything. I was admittedly ready to pick Kaser.
Oh,
Which is
I shouldn't have stopped you.
well, Kaser was a good player the first time.
Okay.
Um, let's not talk about the second one. Okay.
Well, third
Hmm.
one, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Oh boy. Okay, well, that changes every. Oh, so no, I still have to pick a man then.
Yes.
Okay. Who do we want here? See, you gotten to the point where I didn't really think about that. I was pretty set on just picking like some whatever person. Um, wow, we're really gonna go with him not getting picked. That's awesome.
Who, Cody?
Yeah, it's kind of beast.
That's the thing. Like, I don't mind Cody, but I don't want to see him play again. Like
Yeah,
I never thought
I
I never
actually,
thought he was bad, but I don't want to watch him.
I actually kind of think it's crazy you didn't pick Ashley instead of Izzy.
Yeah.
Like just staring and going through names now. I'm like, huh, interesting. Sorry.
Like I said, I kind of just like blanked out Big Brother 27 outside of Morgan's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little annoyed that I just got to pick a man. I don't
Yeah.
really like any of them left. There's still like good women players to pick here.
You know,
Um,
I'm looking at one recent season where I think we haven't picked any men that I like 3 of.
hmm. You know, I don't think many people are gonna like this pick, but
Jace
I
Jackson Mickey from season
no 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 no
21.
no 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 no. Actually, I do hate that season, but Taylor did have a solid rival in that season in terms of
Mhm.
someone who could have won, and he won too much. That, of
Mhm.
course, being Michael.
Michael. Michael was on my
Yeah,
board. He is
I'm gonna go with Michael. Michael, I think, is probably
yeah.
now the most underrated player because I don't think enough people talk about his
I
dominance.
I don't know if you know this, mathematically the greatest competitor in Big Brother history.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Like he
Um,
won like 60% of the
yeah.
competitions he partaked in, like
Yeah,
just
so
or something
I'm
absurd.
I'm happy with that being my final pick here. I think his competition and his gameplay actually plays well. In terms of recent, he's probably the best men's player of the past what 6 seasons.
Certainly competition wise,
Yeah,
there's
I mean, unless you
no
count
doubt.
all stars, I know a lot of people will still side with Cody. He was final two twice for a reason. Um,
I think Xavier was better than Michael, but
I'd say
competition wise, there's
Michael
nobody
Xavier.
better than Michael.
If we count season 20, it's Tyler, Xavier, and Michael. We can't
Yeah,
count.
probably.
Yeah, you have to count 20 if you want to include Tyler. Uh, but all
We
right,
do. We love
let,
Tyler.
let's do the crazy. I really like Tyler. I always did, so I'm happy he's on my thing. All right, let's see how we can mess this up now, huh?
Oh yes, 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 yes.
So we are getting a random twist,
Yes.
two random twists to
Two
ruin the
random
game.
twists
I'll
because
be
we wanted to make sure it's
freaking
aggressive.
golden if there's duos, though.
Yeah.
I think if you get duos, you have to make them.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking
I
that
think that's
with
fair
some of
game.
these,
Yeah,
that like we can like designate
yeah,
who
yeah.
gets them.
Who's America's player, for example?
Yeah.
And obviously, if it gets picked, it has to go off. We're not doing the same twist on the same season. That's
Yes.
lame.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
You go first. You were
I do
first
go
pick, so you go
first.
first.
Yes.
We'll go back. We can just go back and forth for these. Here we go. Oh boy.
Okay.
So the
That
most recent one. That's a fine
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I don't
I
mind
think
that.
that's
If I got
interesting
to
with your players.
if I got to choose, this would end earlier. That
Mm,
like I know,
yeah.
we gotta in this the definition is three house guests are nominated each week, head of household by the head of household, and a three-person competition is held on live eviction night as a last chance at safety, and it's for pre-jury only. I think they kept it further than pre-jury this most recent season. I think that was a bad idea. Like I'm doing the AI arena version where they ended it at jury. I'm pretty sure, um, unless I'm forgetting. But yeah, so
So would you get Blockbuster?
yeah, I got Blockbuster, um, which yeah, I'm content with. Again, like I think the problem this most recent season is that it just kept going. Like it went until like the final six or something like that. Crazy, you know. If it was up to me, Blockbuster would end at like
Yeah.
uh,
That's fair.
week
All
five
right.
or something. But
Hit me with my pain.
indeed.
I have the twist on the front screen too. So
Okay.
when we go, all right, here we go. Here we go. Give me something good. Oh my god!
Evil
I
Dick
knew it was
is
coming.
leaving.
Uh,
He will not live
uh,
for a week outside. He will start fighting. He will box with the
and
producers and he is leaving.
admittedly, admittedly, because of how my season turned out, Janky World with Evil Dick, Jesse Goddard's, uh, and for what it's worth, I'm doing this early. I'm doing this early, one, to get it out of the way. And two, I want as many people having to live through Janky World as possible.
Dude, that
Um,
sucks. That sucks because doing it early means there's like 12 people in the
oh yeah.
backyard.
Oh yeah. But listen, I am trying to make this as chaotic as possible. If I have Janky World on my side, I have to. But you can go for your second twist.
Well,
I knew I was gonna get that, by the way.
for those who don't remember, Janky World is the twist where house guests are subjected to a never-ending carnival where they must live outside and only eat pizza and ice cream for a full week, among other things. They had to like dance and stuff. It was
Yeah.
terrible. They hated it, and it was awesome. Bad for live feeders though, but I didn't watch live feeds that week, so it was fine.
Yeah, this is big time for me. I think it does create chaos for me at least. I hate
Oh
Janky
yeah,
World, but with my cast of figures, oh, Rachel might hurt someone. Go ahead. All
please,
right, your second
nothing too
twist.
bad.
Oh
Oh
boy. Oh
no,
fuck.
no, keep going, keep going, keep going.
That's tough. I hate
Oh,
that one. I
yeah, it
hate that
sucked.
more than
I
Janky
hated that.
World by a
Yeah,
lot.
no, this is White Locust.
I'd
Remember?
argue that's the worst one on the entire thing.
Yeah, probably. It's
That
up
one sucks, dude.
for those who don't remember. The White Locust, or the Call Out Challenge, or the Do or Die Challenge. I think they called it in
Uh,
Big Brother Canada. Something. Um, the winner of a competition calls out another house guest to complete a new competition in a set amount of time. It was difficult to make this make sense. Sorry. If that house guest succeeds, they call it a new person to compete. Each new person has less time to do the same task until somebody fails and is evicted. So last season, that was obviously Rachel Riley, who was playing a masterful game, uh, making fools look like idiots the whole time, and then couldn't do a puzzle and was thus evicted immediately. In one of the most annoying things
that
like
that's
ever.
brutal. That's a
That
brutal
sucks.
get.
That's actually infuriating.
Like, you're gonna accidentally lose, like, Taylor from that or something, or June, or, like, in my
Oh my god, I'm
joking,
no, but you're
joking, but,
right.
like, that's how
No,
that would
you're right.
go.
Some of these
You're gonna
people,
lose someone
yeah,
clutch.
fuck
Ugh,
that, man. That sucks. That's actually, yeah, that's like the worst
and
one.
you probably don't
It's
wanna
not
do
like
it
a
early
fun
because you
one.
don't want as many people on the block. That's tough. There's no good place
No,
to
you
put
got to
that.
do it early. You got to do it. In
I
fact,
guess
if I
so.
had a choice, you do that like week one. Like that's the first of. Well,
Yeah.
in fact, they used to do that with like
But but that's still
you know,
scary though. Like Dr. Will, what if he gets picked? He's out. He's not gonna win.
yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, people
Like, your
riot.
first
That is
pick's
a problem.
gone, bro. Like,
Um,
you put that later just in case. Maybe
no,
middle.
yeah, I
Middle
was gonna
after
say,
things are established
I think
a
you, I
little.
no, 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 I think they did it at the wrong time. I think if they did it week 5, I
Yeah.
think it has to be pre-jury in my opinion. I think
That's a
that's how it works.
tough get.
That sucks. It sucks a lot. But
That
yeah, I think
for
yeah,
many people ruined the most recent season.
yeah, yeah. It was bad.
It
This
it
that's
ended all competition. Like, oh boy.
yeah,
All
because
right,
then it
give me
was
my
just
last one. Whatever it is, it can't be worse.
it could be battle of the block.
Yeah, I can live with that at least. I can live with that.
Fuck you. That's ridiculous. That's an easy one. Like that's just man,
I wanted America's player.
that would be fun.
Hey, I'm willing to do a third.
I'm not.
Why? It's all stars.
Okay, okay, we could do a third.
Do 3 twist.
Okay.
Why?
Uh,
Because I don't know. You got White Locust. You might want something different here.
I don't know if I do. For those who are unaware or forgot, I'm trying to make this look good. The Diamond Power Veto was an extra secret veto that can remove a house guest from the block on live eviction night moments before voting begins. The person who uses it also gets to name the replacement nominee instead of the head of household.
That's
Um,
so gas for my game. That's so
yeah.
gas.
So it's like it's not absurdly overpowered, but it's like overpowered enough to where it's like kind of sick, which is
Yeah,
kind of like the
yeah. Just think
perfect
of certain
twist.
people having it.
Yeah, like it's kind of the perfect twist because it's like it's a secret. You get it somehow, like from uh but yeah, so I
You
don't
get
know.
to put
I
someone right on.
yeah, it's like a half coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Um,
The coup d'etat is one of one. That's why I want to do another one. There's too many good ones still on here.
yeah, all right.
This is Big
You
Brother. We play with the chances. All right,
okay?
Dylan's third and final.
If this is something stupid, I'm gonna be so annoyed. Most of them are stupid, so that's not really, you know. I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. Okay, yeah, I could do that. That'll back. That's fine.
You have that
Perfect.
and Blockbuster, so that's fine.
Perfect for yeah, there's a lot of like Frankie's never leaving. I hope everybody knows that. Uh, Frankie will never leave
Frankie's
this house.
winning your All Star season,
Probably.
uh,
And hey,
which
probably
we
deserved.
decided about 4, 5, 7 rounds ago. Anyways,
Yeah, I was thinking about picking Michael just to like counter Frankie. And then I didn't because I'm stupid. Um Battle Back is a head-to-head competition for pre-jury evicted house guests to make it back into the game. Um so yeah, that's
Battleback's a good one.
I like Battle Back.
Battleback to follow the Blockbuster
That's
is
what I
good.
was thinking. Yeah, I don't even know if it would be pre-jury, but because the way that this
Well,
lines
that's
out,
literally the rules of
yeah,
Battleback.
that's
So
true. Why did they do it for? It don't matter. Um,
they just
but
they
yeah,
just do shit, man.
I would do a call out challenge early, and hope that
Mm,
they come back through the battle.
that's a good call. That's a good way to play it, though. That's a good way to play it.
That's my thinking. And for your final one, I'm hoping you get camp comeback. Let's see,
That'd be really funny.
camp counselor
I
slash
I
camp comeback, where they get
for
to
what
like
it's worth, I could live with that. Oh boy.
battle the block.
That's fine. Way to add it. That just helped Tucker a lot. That just yeah, that'll help. That'll
For
do.
those who don't remember season 16 and 17, the Battle of the Block is a two head of is when two head of households are crowned, each select two nominees and they compete each other in the Battle of the Block. That's the name. The winning pair is safe from eviction and dethrones the HOH who nominated them, leaving the other HOH in power. This also means that Derek will be able to completely game the system, much like he did in season one,
Yeah.
or in season 16, famously. He like
Yep.
was yeah, that was crazy.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's our draft. How
Look at
about
those
you?
teams, huh?
How about you? Or I'll read off mine, then you read off yours because I went first.
All right.
Um, so I have Dr. Will from Big Brother 2 and Big Brother 7. I have Vanessa from Big Brother 17. I have Taylor from Big Brother 24 and Reindeer Games. I have June from Big Brother 4. Paul from Big Brother 18 and 19, Eric from Big Brother 8, Tiffany from Big Brother 23, Frankie from Big Brother 16 and Reindeer Games, Brittany from Big Brother 12, Big Brother 14 and Reindeer Games, Andy from Big Brother 15, Jason from Big Brother 3, Morgan from Big Brother 27, Matt from Big Brother 12, Maggie from Big Brother 6, Josh from Big Brother 19, Izzy from Big Brother 25, and Cedric from Big Brother 26. With that cast, we also have the blockbuster twist, the White Locust twist, and the Battle Back twist. Yeah.
And my All Stars 3 season goes as follows. Dan from Big Brother 10 and Big Brother 14. You have Derek from BB 16, Daniel Reyes from season 3, 7, and Reindeer Games. You have Rachel Riley from BB 12, 13, and 27. You have the one and only Evil Dick from BB 8 because we're not including his mini season. We have Danny Donato from 8, 13, and 22. We have Janelle from 6, 7, 14, and 22. We have Chelsea from Big Brother 26. We have Tyler from Big Brother 20 and 22. We have Casey from Big Brother 20, Xavier from Big Brother 23 and Reindeer Games, Nicole Franzel of BB 16, 18, 22, and Reindeer Games, Ian Terry of BB 14 and 22, Devon of 17, 18, and 22, Jesse Cotters of 10 and 11,
And OVW.
Tucker and OVW, thank you, of course, uh, Tucker of BB 26, and Michael from BB 25. And my twists are Janky World, the Diamond Power Veto, and Battle of the Block.
You know what's one small thing I love about yours is we get Michael and Janelle in the same season.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Michael legit, he was getting cooked and he was just like, that's gotta be Janelle now. And he
Yep.
was. He was
And
Janelle.
yeah. Yeah.
He just won every competition.
Mm.
He just did it. Um Yeah, I honestly I like both of ours. I think we clearly had different uh ideas here, which I
Yeah.
like. But I think ultimately a lot of what I saw was that it's like I think for me, Big Brother 22 made me like players a lot less than it did for you, which is funny because like if Tyler was just in Big Brother 20, I would have picked him pretty quickly because I
Yeah.
thought he was beast. But Big Brother 22 left
Right.
such a bad taste in my mouth, even though each house guest is motivated. That is part of the
Yeah.
rules. So like obviously like
That's
it
that's
works.
how we change up.
Yeah,
Well, we talked about it 7 times through this. Like if BB 22, they had the ingredients, they just had so many things that worked against it.
yeah,
It being COVID, being able to pre-plan, um, and just like the wrong recipes, like Tyler not wanting to be there, for
yeah.
example. Like that was just not helpful to
I mean,
anyone.
just look at the people who couldn't. Like Rachel, Casey, and Josh were all wanted to, but Rachel was pregnant or just gave birth,
Yep.
so she couldn't. And then Josh and Casey both got COVID. like they're like yeah, 22,
Instantly better season.
100%. But
And
yeah, so I
in
think
so many
that
ways, I was trying to make the better Big Brother All Stars season. That's what we were doing here.
mhm.
Um, and I don't feel bad going to a lot of people that were on that because I think again there were some people that were right to be on it. It just because like you look back at it, you look at the lineup. It's like everyone that wasn't picked was like, yeah, you were pretty much that what ruined that season. Um, truthfully, I mean, if we're being
Yeah.
honest, there's
Were there
you
any people left on your list that you wanted to pick but just didn't really make sense for what you were going for, or like
yeah.
who, like
Um,
give me a couple of those if you wouldn't mind.
would have loved me a Donnie.
Yeah,
Would
I
have
was
loved
thinking
me a
Donnie too.
Donnie.
I was
Jerry.
thinking Jerry. Yeah, Jerry,
Yeah.
98 years old,
Uh,
still rocking.
James. Remember James?
Cowboy?
Um,
Well,
yeah.
not cowboy, not old cow, the
Yeah,
Asian
I know
cowboy.
what you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
I
I
liked
loved
him.
him the first season he was in. He was great.
Yeah, I meant the first season specifically. Um, for the wrestling fans to continue, Frank Udy,
Yeah,
just for the pop. That would have been for the pop. Um, I
just for the
had
song.
I had one of the more underrated players that I don't think people remember, but Haley Bruchet, who is now
20?
married to Alex
Yeah,
Caruso. Yes.
yeah. Shouts out.
Allison Irwin, who we talked about.
Mhm.
Um, being the other side of that, but her All Stars appearance because of that was very short.
Yeah.
Um, Keisha Smith, as I had talked about. Those are the main ones. There's a few people I just didn't write down, but I had in mind. But um, like Michael, I actually never wrote down, but I came back to him with how everything worked out. Um, I will say it. It'll make me a bad guy. I did have Boogie written down just in case of emergency. Didn't really want to pick him, but like very similar to some things I did. Had I picked Dr. Will, I know their history. I
I
know
don't
what
think
has
that's
happened.
legally a possibility.
No, it's not actually.
That is the one metagame that I don't know if we'd be able to.
No, yeah, that's probably true. But on the surface, Chilltown looks good.
Yeah.
On the
Um,
surface.
I had a couple of people as well.
I
I
had a
had
lot of
a
people from the original All Stars too.
yeah,
Just
sure,
I
sure,
didn't
that makes
talk.
sense. Howie was meant to be obviously he was meant to be in my list, but I accidentally
The fact he
didn't have him.
wasn't picked,
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
devastating. I had Brett from Big Brother 20 because when I first watched Big Brother 20, I wasn't a big fan of it, and then I kind of like
Brett from
rewatched it,
Big Brother 20.
and I
Oh yeah, I
realized that
remember.
fucker's the funniest guy of all time. Like I was like, this dude is hilarious. Um, I had Derek X from Big Brother 23. I also had Hannah from Big Brother 23.
So funny
Both
thing about
underrated.
Derek. I had Derek on the list, but he was actually really bad at Big Brother itself. He didn't like know what Big Brother was. He was one of
Yeah,
the
I just thought
very
it was cool.
clear like we scouted you. Oh, I love yeah, no,
Yeah,
he came to mind and then I was like, "Oh, right, I forgot that he like didn't know what the game was."
that
And I was
is
like, "I probably shouldn't
a
do
good
that
point.
for All Stars."
Yeah. But yeah, I also was looking at Hannah from the Cookout. Because I think she's
That's a
awesome.
good
Also,
one. I
a
think
bit of
she's
a
great.
metagame, but she is now like a lawyer, so it's like she's smarter now than she was then, and she
Yeah,
was smart as shit then. So it's like
Xavier was a lawyer, so
yeah, still, yeah, yeah. Shouts out.
yeah.
Um,
I
and
think
then
Michael's a lawyer too, or an attorney of some sort.
there's a lot of
So
lawyers who are pretty good at this game.
Ashley,
Ashley,
obviously.
yeah. Um, yeah, I didn't have Ashley. Ashley, I completely just did not write down. And
That's
like now, I'm like, I probably should have
crazy.
written her down. Um,
That's
then on the
crazy.
women's side, I had Danielle from Big Brother 14, um, who was good at the game, but was just
Oh yeah,
kind of
tough.
like dragged around by Dan, and Dan just was like, yeah, that was crazy. Lisa, the winner of Big Brother 3, Jen from Big Brother
That's
8, just because
cool.
I think she was cool, and she was funny.
Jen.
I love Jen. I think she's hilarious. Like she was such a funny
That's one of
player.
the all-time characters in the history of
Yeah,
the game.
like she was just funny. You know
Uh,
what I mean? Like I didn't end up
She
like
she was ultimately thought of. I will give you that.
the personality picks. There weren't many of them ultimately. Especially ones that weren't like also great at the game.
Yeah.
but I
She
love
was a good
Jen. I think
one.
she's awesome. And then Holly, like I mentioned earlier, who I think would have been better without Mickey.
Evil Dick famously, like, hit her with his cigarette, pretty
Yes,
sure. Yeah.
yes. Oh, and also Devin from Big Brother 16, because
Yeah, I
as
was
the
shocked you didn't
funniest
pick him.
player of all time, um, in wrestling drafts, I usually go for the most crazy choice on my last pick. So you definitely expected me to pick, uh,
I would expect you to
expect me to
actually
pick
pick
Devin.
Cedric, to be fair.
Um,
But I did think maybe, depending how your draft would go, you'd actually go Devin. Just if you went full chaos,
Devin was my Josh was my Devin because Josh was also a good player. That's the thing. Like Devin,
that's fair.
Devin and Josh, not very similar, but both kind of just the most chaotic, like psychotic people. Like very high energy, and so yeah, I think Josh was kind of my if I can't get Devin, I gotta get Josh because Devin is a personal favorite of mine. He was so bad at Big Brother, it was so funny. Uh, like again, this is the first 2 weeks I ever watched Big Brother. I was like, this is what this is. What is he doing? What's happening? I'm so confused. Like, what is this? Is always happen? Like, it was like, you know, it was incredible. So yeah, Devin was somebody uh, if I wasn't trying to put together like a strong show, a strong season, and was just going for kind of chaos. Like, yeah, I think Angela and Devin would have definitely gotten spots on this roster. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Unless you have any closing remarks about your draft or my draft or how the process went, or just have anything to say. Literally anything.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be much happier. Obviously, I had plans of Dr. Will, which would have changed some things, but not everything. Um, there's like some I just wish I had picked earlier that you
Yeah.
ended up picking or something like that. But I can't really complain. I feel like I've put together a Big Brother season that would really, I think it would deliver. That's really what I was trying to do. Like, bring a little bit of personality here, there, everywhere. Lots of winners, obviously. Lots of could have been winners. You know what? I will say this confidently. Don't know who would win this, and I think that is the best thing I can say
Mm,
about it. Is that people could say like, oh well, Derek could walk through. It's like no, because everyone knows how Derek plays now. So
yeah.
like, he couldn't.
Well, see, that's
He'll.
that's
That's the
part of
beauty
what
of
I
it.
was going for. Is that it's like there are winners on mine who I don't think people would suspect. Like I think
Yeah,
Josh would put up a bigger fight than people think. June would put up a bigger fight than people think. Andy would put up a bigger fight than people would think. Um,
I
and
just
yeah,
don't
like
like 2/3 of them.
yeah,
Um, so, but I ended up picking people I wasn't a big fan of either. So like, I think that's important. It was a lot of fun. I think that they should do another All Star season where things are a bit more normal and you can. Um, I think you should change the game in a way that plays to the first decade of Big Brother. I think that would be a fun way to do it. I think, and when I say first decade, I mean how those games were made
mm,
instead of trying to add too much new stuff or redo recent stuff that's worked. I think they like to do that a little bit too much. Um, the twist is always going to change a game. I think that is always something, but um, I'm very happy with where I landed. I got a lot of people I consider favorites too. So from
yeah,
seasons I watched, which is always a fun part of it. And yeah, I would just say let the chaos begin because I feel like I've drafted enough chaos for this to be at least entertaining.
yeah. Honestly, I like both of ours a lot. I think you certainly have a deeper bag than me, and I think a lot of like I said, you have the Andre the Giant and Evil Dick, who I was never gonna pick. Ultimately, I just wasn't. I don't particularly like him. Even as a player, I found him frustrating, but I haven't seen the season all the way through. But just watching his how his game played out, I was like, that seems frustrating if you don't
The
like him.
You have to
Um,
remember America did everything in their power to make sure
yes,
he did
that's what
not
I
go
mean.
home.
Just seems so frustrating, because it's like I I tend to fall on the other side of a lot of. I tend to be a contrarian in a lot of ways with Big Brother in terms of like favorites and whatnot. If you couldn't tell, big Paul fan. I was rooting for Paul the whole time. He was bullying everybody on Big Brother 19. Um, and inversely, Evil Dick, not as big of a fan. Very funny they were drafted back to back because I digress. But yeah, so I was never going to pick him, but like I think that makes your draft so much like so interesting ultimately because it's like
Mhm.
just Dick and Ian, like poor Ian, like I don't know, like he's not gonna handle that well because
You know
it's
what's funny?
mm,
You know what's funny? I could see, like, that be a secret combo, though. I know,
yeah,
like, like, Ian being kinda quiet, Evil Dick not
it's just
being
kind of working,
quiet,
yeah.
it's like one of those things where it's like, maybe that could work
Nobody would
if I did this
suspect it.
one.
A true
No.
secret. Nobody. That's the thing about like All Stars. You can't really do many secret alliances because it's like it's kind of everybody knows how you move to some degree.
Right.
Maybe not everybody. Like maybe Vanessa hasn't watched much Big Brother. She doesn't know exactly how Taylor's moving. But who's to say? Like I think that's kind of the interesting thing. But that would be such an interesting like low key alliance. But yeah, I'm really happy with mine. I think that I have a well rounded crew. I even have a couple people who, yeah, they're gonna lose. Obviously,
Mm,
like I don't expect Cedric to win. Shocker, I know. Love the guy, but come on. Or Izzy, but I think they can throw wrenches in plans that would make things interesting. I don't think there's anybody who makes the season less interesting in mine, which I
mhm.
think is kind of a big part of what I was going for. Outside of maybe Frankie just killing everyone. Like that's ultimately we've talked
Yeah,
about it a million times now. I think that's ultimately the only way my season ends up being poor is if Frankie just steamrolls, which at that point it's like there's a certain beauty to steamrolling if you're that good. Like that's my
that's true.
like I think Chelsea's late end game was underrated because she was just that good. Like what did you want from her? Like yeah, Mackenzie won those, but even if Mackenzie didn't, Chelsea was still going to win. Like she still was just good at the game. There was no
Yeah.
way to beat her. So it's like, I kind of appreciate a good steamroll. And I think Frankie would at least make it interesting in
I
comparison to a Cody.
I will add this. I think where you do benefit the way you crafted it, I think if I use certain newbies in my season, they would get destroyed. Where I think your season with who your, like, old school players are, I think it works a lot better,
Hmm,
like, had you had the newer crew with a Dan, I think that would hurt them a lot more than being with a Dr. Will.
yeah.
Because newer crew is a lot of winning, right? A lot of them is winning comps, um, and playing interesting, if not sometimes bad social games. But I think that that's another part of this, like, going through. It's like, had I had hmm, like a Morgan, for example, I think she would not do nearly as well in my side as I think she would in yours, because I think you crafted it correctly for people to
I think I got
thrive.
a pretty equitable season, because
Yeah.
outside of like a couple like obvious like, oh, that person's not gonna go out week in the first 3 weeks or so.
Right.
Everybody could just kind of like go on a run
Mhm.
realistically, you know.
Exactly. Yes,
And I
exactly.
I think similarly about yours, but also there are people, Derek, that will 100% just like be like, oh, I figured it out already, and
Oh,
half
yeah.
the season's gone, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Well, that's the interesting, right? I mean, round
yeah,
2,
yeah,
we have that player there.
exactly.
We have that player. I know Vanessa didn't win, but she was literally that a year
Mhm.
later, and I think that's what makes it interesting. Derek having to play his way against these people is interesting, you know, because you look back at season 16, you're like, oh boy, what a crew. Um, I just think that's the fun part of like looking back at these, and I think that was the fun of it. But we've been talking for over 2 hours. Let's wrap this up.
Yes, we can wrap it up. Thank you everybody for listening. If you got this far, you're a psychopath, but we appreciate you. We will be back for episodes when the Big Brother season starts. We might do a preview. I know we were talking about doing like a fantasy Big Brother
Team
gimmick where
thing.
yeah, where
Yeah.
like when either like right before, or right after the first episode, we pick uh people that we think are going to go far or win America's favor, whatever it might be. So we were thinking about doing that. Probably we'll do a preview if we have any substance, because you never know how much they're going to give out preseason. If they're like, oh, it's half returning, it's like, okay, then we can make something out of this. But if not, we will be doing episodes throughout the season, talk about Big Brother. um, and yeah, check us out on Twitter. I'm at xx Ichiban because I'm number one on the mic, 21 on your heart. I fucked that up. It's the other way around. It's midnight. I fuck things up sometimes. And follow Scott at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter. Um, and yeah, subscribe to the extended universe because we will be doing more of this and more with our good friend Xavi. So, yeah, stick around because this was fun, and I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm excited to talk about more Big Brother. And now I want to go like watch Big Brother. So that's always the beauty of doing anything, is when you want to do more of it. So I had a good time, Scott. I hope you had a good time, and I hope everybody listening and watching had a good time as well. You can give your spiel if you'd like.
Oh,
If you have anything.
yeah, no, I had a great time. I'm excited to do a little bit more non wrestling stuff, even if it's just for fun and no one watches it. That's fine with me too. Um, but this was a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll enjoy us talking Big Brother and other things. As we talked about, I've thought about like doing, maybe a TV show reviews, movie reviews, some sports stuff. There's a lot of things we can do and just kind of build the channel in our own little idea. So yeah, that's it. That's the Big Brother All Stars 3 fantasy draft. They'll let you sign us off here.
Yep. You can. I'll figure out how to put a poll either on the YouTube video, or maybe I'll put a straw poll in the description. Maybe I don't know. Um, we'll see, something like that. But regardless, I need to do one thing and one thing only. I need to tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your auntie, tell your neighbor, tell your cousin, tell your cousin's girlfriend who actually got you into Big Brother, and that's why you're here. Really good taste on her part. Shouts out to her. Tell anybody that you freaking know that On the Block is the next best Big Brother podcast in the biz. Bye bye.